The only thing is, well, no, because I'm
Wagwan, me
texting.
boxing brethren. What's going on? It's another edition of Major Key Boxing, man. Major Key Mondays in effect, full effect. Of course, we had to do another edition of Coach's Corner, like we said before. The legendary Tommy Brooks is part of this whole legendary thing that we're trying to push here with Coach's Corner. As long as God is willing, we'll have Tommy Brooks on, and we'll have other guests to kind of bump minds with Tommy Brooks as well as Troy Graham, business partner, full effect. What's going on, Troy? How you doing?
Oh, bless, man. I'm blessed and ready.
Yes, sir. And yo, Tommy Brooks. Tommy Brooks. By the way, you guys are not gonna see him. He is actually on the phone with Troy. Due to some technical difficulties, but we wanted to get it in and get it in the right way. So Tommy Brooks is on the phone. How you doing, Mister?
I'm good, baby.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, man, we wanted to get it in. Coach's Corner, just for you guys that don't know, Coach's Corner originally was supposed to be about the previous month in boxing. That's why we wanted to do it at the end of every month. Okay, and so the only problem being, right? The only problem being is that which is not a bad problem to have, is that so many people wanted to really get into asking these legendary guys some questions. We never really got into talking about the previous month. If we only got a couple of minutes, we were lucky. So now I think everybody's asked Tommy Brooks, over the course of the last two times he was here, a lot of personal questions about him and this and this and that. So right now we're just going to keep it limited in-house and keep Tommy Brooks on the panel. We're expecting Buddy McGirt as well. He'll be here shortly. But we want to talk about the previous month in boxing and everything that's going on. And salute Mark Nash. Mark Nash in the building. What's going on, brother? You here, man? You simulcasting on your show as well? All right, you on mute if you didn't know, but it's okay. I know he's in the building. So with this being said, so Tommy Brooks, first question before we start getting into the fights. I want to ask you about the state of boxing. You know what I mean? As far as what's going on right now is the state of boxing, and what I mean about that is there's a lot of confusion. I was listening to a couple of channels earlier today. There's a couple of fights that are about to happen, a couple of fights that are being announced, and they're testing the waters for certain fighters. But it seems like right now they're just not taking the fights like they used to. Back in the days, they used to just take the fights. Okay, this is the man. This is the man I gotta beat. Put me in. Now they just worried about a certain amount of money. If it doesn't meet a particular threshold, if it doesn't, guarantee a certain amount of views, everybody's following. Then, unfortunately, in Mayweather's footsteps, and kudos to Mayweather for making his money. You know what I mean? But there's only one Mayweather. You know what I mean? That he just happened to be in the right time, right place, and had the right strategy for moving in that direction. It was at the inception of social media. It happened to be at the right time when he took over, the ranks with De La Hoya. So he just did the things that he did at the right time, But he had to be Pretty Boy first, and a lot of these guys don't realize that, So they think that they could just be money made without being Pretty Boy first. So what are your thoughts on this, man? If you have any.
Well, my thinking on it is look, fighters like got fighters like Pernell Woodard, Van Holyfield, Mike Tyson. Those are real fighters. They're gonna fight anybody that you put in front of them. No matter how talented they are, how many knockouts they got, they're gonna fight them. You got these guys nowadays. They're picking and choosing who they want to fight. And some of this refereeing, I mean, the refereeing and the judging is unbelievable. I was watching a fight last week, I think it was, and I just couldn't believe the scoring. It was unbelievable. I was wondering what fight were they watching,
Yeah, that's facts, man. and you know, there were some fights like there was an undisputed fight a couple of weeks ago. Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. One of the best angles that I heard about that whole fight, because me personally, I had Castano clearly winning. I had him clearly winning, but I was debating my boy Myron. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Logics United. Everybody subscribe to Boxing Logic United if you're not subscribed to him already. I was debating him on the phone, just me and him personally, one-on-one. And I told him, I said, man, you probably gave me the best perspective I've heard throughout the whole internet. And we're on the phone. It wasn't even on the internet. And what he said was, look, the whole thing is that, you know, when it comes down to it, I'm watching a fight. And it's not like one of the classics where somebody deserved the victory. To him, it was like, look, it was a nice fight, but it wasn't a classic for me to say, hey, one of these guys deserved their name in the Hall of Fame just off of this fight. I needed more for me to just like guarantee them in the Hall of Fame, write their name down, boom, they're done. That's it. That convinced me 1,000%, you know? And it's unfortunate because it is a little bit, it has to do with the competition at that. And it's just what I, you know, told them at the end is like, it has to do a little bit with the, you know, competition at that level. Then he said, well, and I said, hey, this guy Castano was overcoming disadvantage with reach and height. And he said, but he was in the weight class. And I said, touche. What can I say? He was in the weight class. You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? So if you're in that weight class, right? And you know what I'm saying? And that's the weight class that you're in, then you can't say it's a disadvantage because you're in that weight class. You know what I mean? Or either you slim yourself up and go to a lower weight class where you probably have like a shorter. And I got his point. Even though I feel like Castano edged it out, I still feel his point though. You know what I mean? And that was probably the best argument I heard so far on YouTube, man. But yo, peace to Coach Malachi and of course Coach Buddy McGirt. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Welcome back.
Okay, how's it going? How's it going?
Salute to you, man. We're doing great out here, man. Feeling the energy,
What's good,
man.
buddy?
Energy.
What's up, babe?
So let me. I was just posing that question to Coach Tommy Brooks. Oh, okay. There you go. He in the back. Okay, hold on one second.
Everybody
Oh, there you go.
in and out.
All right. So yeah, I was posing that question to Tommy Brooks, and then I'm gonna throw it off to you, buddy. And then the reason why is because you the coaches that we have on Coach's Corner. Then Troy asked a question. Coach Malachi, you can follow up as well. That was my last question. Then Troy goes and Coach goes, but I want Buddy. I want Buddy to follow up after Tommy Brooks. You can follow up as well. That was my.
Okay, Tommy, you want to respond to his question?
We can't hear him.
Can't hear him?
Nah. Sound robotic.
All right. Hey, Troy. Yeah, I only hear him robotic as well. See if you can fix that, and we'll let Buddy answer in the meantime.
What was the question?
Yeah.
So basically, in a nutshell, because it was kind of long-winded, but in a nutshell, like with all this crazy stuff that's going on with all these fights, people are not really appreciating the fighters, but it's kind of their fault as well, right? So I'm asking you, based on the fight with Jamel versus Castano, number one, how did you see it? And number one, how did you see it? And number two, did anyone deserve to be undisputed based on that fight?
Okay, I didn't hear what you said, but you said Herring and who?
No, Jamel and Castano.
Oh, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see the fight, if you want to know the truth.
Oh, okay. All right. So based on that fight, you know, it was a lot of controversy because a lot of people felt like Castano clearly won. I'm one of them. But I can also understand some of the gripe around that, hey, none of them were classic fighters, or it wasn't a classy fight like one of the things that we're used to. But just because it's not in that particular era, you know, it's still an undisputed fight. you know, and I feel like Castaño edged it out. But some people feel like, hey, you know what? It wasn't that type of fight where I feel like I could give anybody the edge, because this is not something I'm used to for Undisputed. This is going down in the books, you know. So yeah, I wish you would have watched that one, man. That would have been a great topic of conversation for tonight, man. But besides that, like, I mean, just the overall nature of boxing right now, man. Like what do you think is going on?
Well, all I can say right now with boxing, I'm glad that they have they're starting to put on good fights, because for a while there I was starting to get a little worried. You know, there was no good fights being put on. Most of them were mismatches. So now that they're starting to, you know, they got the best stepping up fighting the best, I think that it's going to be a little more exciting now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pose this last question and give it to Troy. If Troy is still dealing with Mr. Brooks in the background, then Coach can jump in. But you know, what are you looking forward to the most out of these upcoming bouts? Which bout are you looking forward to the most?
To be honest, it's not about which one I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to a good fight. Whereas when the guys get in the ring, 9 times out of 10, you know who's already going to win. But I want to get in there when it fights 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this guy could win, that guy could win. You know, it's a toss-up. It makes it interesting. When was the last time there was a fight that was really, really interesting on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they, you know what I mean? When was the real interesting fight? I mean, you can't really say. You can say, okay, good fights, decent fights, but a fight that's really interesting. You know, we need to make these fights, you know what I mean? We need to make these fights like, you know, say right now I heard that they're trying to make Sean Porter Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier before you jumped in. Absolutely, yeah.
That's a fight I'll pay to see, because I know it's going to be an interesting fight. It can go either way. You know what I mean? But now, if you had Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter fighting the number 9 guy, I'm not going to watch that. You know what I mean? Because you know 9 times out of 10 who's the favorite, where it's going. If the fight is closed, you know where it's going.
That's what's up. Well, I don't know if Troy's back, but if not, Coach can jump in, because I see every time I ask a question, he scratches one off his list. So I'm taking down his list right now. So Coach, I don't want to take off your whole list.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm actually replying to the chat. Hey, buddy, what's going on, brother? What's happening?
Hey man, same old pot of soup. Just need heating up. That's it.
Hey man, I've been watching you on Instagram, man. I noticed you still been like doing. I guess what you do? You're running in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Now I haven't ran in 20 some years. I started running about 3-4 weeks ago. Now to me, I'm running. I don't care what anybody else say. I'm running. And this lady walked past me the other day and said, "Sir, you walk really fast." I wanted to cuss her out, but I said, "Miss, in my mind, I'm running." So I said, hey, listen, I gotta honestly tell you, man, since I started doing it, I feel so much better. I look forward to it. But I messed up the other day. I picked out a long route. It took me 45 minutes. And when I took a shower and laid down, everything hurt, from the rooter to the tutor.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it does happen that way, because I run 3 miles a day. Well, I didn't run 3 miles today. I'm not gonna lie, but I did go swimming. But it's like, man, you know what I mean? You know. But hey, let me ask you a quick question. You talked about the Terrence Crawford and the Sean Porter fight, and you said you'll pay for that.
Yeah.
From a stylistic standpoint, what intrigues you about that fight to the point to where you want to pay for it?
Because Sean Porter has that style, man, to give anybody trouble.
That is true.
You know, he can give anybody trouble and make it an exciting fight. You know, and Crawford's going to make the adjustments, and it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be one of the top fights.
How do you see that fight playing out? I mean, a question. You know how Porter fights. You know a lot more about boxing than I do, but I'm like, man, yeah, I seen fights with Porter where he's roughing up people like he did Adrian Broner, like he did Formella.
Right.
You know, I'm like, if he comes with that style, do you think how do you think that?
I think that he can give Terrence some trouble. But once Terrence figures it out, because Terrence Terrence will go southpaw on you in a minute, and he's just as lethal southpaw as he is right-handed. So I just think that it's going to be a matter of who figures out the best plan once that bell rings.
So this leads me to another question. Terrence Crawford is an orthodox fighter,
Right?
but he switches southpaw once he figures you out. So you being a boxer, you being a Hall of Famer, what advantages is that? Like what is he looking at? Like when he makes the decision to switch, what's the purpose of that? Like what advantages does he have?
I think he's switching because the guy's getting comfortable with fighting him right-handed, and then boom, he switches to try to throw them off.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think. I think that he's getting the guy comfortable, and then bam, he makes that switch, and then he stays in the southpaw stance. He doesn't go. He very rarely goes back to the right-handed style.
So, from a footwork standpoint, like they say that a southpaw's kryptonite is the straight right. So when he goes southpaw, I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of the landing the straight right down the middle. I mean, that's what they say. Why, like when they fight Crawford, and he hasn't fought and like you say, an elite fighter in the welterweight division so far. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but basically the PBC fighters, because they hasn't been able to fight Errol. Hopefully we get the Shawn Porter fight, and I love Shawn Porter's footwork. I love Crawford's footwork. So I'm trying to like in my head, like we know what Shawn's going to bring to the table. Man, this is going to be. I want to see. I pay to see this fight myself. I'm not going to lie, but I just want to know, like, what's the advantages of him going southpaw?
Well, I think sometimes when
Coach Malachi,
when guys go southpaw, most people think you got to move to your left to get away from the southpaw. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't believe that. They say, keep your foot outside of his foot. He's not kicking you; he's punching you. You know what I mean? So, and I also believe that the best punch to hit a southpaw with is you get close inside, and you bring a right uppercut right up the middle. Can't miss them, no way, no how. They can't get away from it.
Okay.
Because they're expecting the left hook or the straight right hand. You get on the inside and come right up the middle with that right uppercut. You hit them all night long.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you so much, buddy. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, Troy, go ahead,
yes,
man.
yeah, because I know that Tommy want to respond. So go ahead, Tommy.
No, I was just saying, if you throw that uppercut, you got to follow up behind it. Just don't throw the uppercut. Follow up with a combination behind it.
Did y'all
Then
hear
you
him?
could go home. Then you could go home after that, champ.
Exactly. Yeah.
I tell you what, I've been holding on to this question. First of all, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, Tommy?
Good.
I'm good.
What's up, Tommy?
Good.
You got it, champ. Long time no see, baby.
Yeah, man. Good to hear your voice, man.
Same here, champ.
Yeah, man. I've been holding on to this question, and this is for the both of y'all actually. So put on your training caps right now, because I got one for you. Okay, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're the trainer, of a fighter named Buddy McGirt in his prime. He's at 140, right? And Buddy, you're the trainer of some guy named Pryor at 140 at his prime, right? So Tommy, how would you train Buddy in his prime how to beat Aaron Pryor? And Buddy, how would you train Aaron Pryor to beat you?
Wow, that's a good question.
I would train Buddy is to remember, for every action, there's a reaction. You get that one? For every action, there's a reaction.
Did you hear him, Buddy?
Yeah, I'm listening. I hear him. That's pretty interesting, because Aaron Pryor, everyone sees Aaron Pryor as a brawler, but Aaron Pryor can also box. When he wants to, he can really box, man. And, he just has that style, man, that can give you fits. And he can punch with both hands, and he never got tired. So I mean, guys that gave me trouble were guys like Pernell. Guys that came at me didn't give me trouble. It's the guys like Pernell that gave me trouble.
People, I just got to remember, your offense is your defense. Your defense is your offense. But if you haven't been taught what to do, now you're in trouble.
But that's a good question. I wouldn't know how to answer that one because Aaron could do both. Aaron can box and he could put that pressure on.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Your offense is your defense. Your defense is your offense.
Yeah. Aaron. Aaron, I don't think people give Aaron Pryor the credit he deserves, man. I mean, nobody wanted to fight Aaron Pryor. Only Arguello. Nobody else wanted to fight Aaron Pryor.
Yeah, Aaron was a buzzsaw, baby.
Helter Skelter. He was a very Helter Skelter type of cat.
In 1985, my manager said to me, "Buddy, we might have a shot to fight Aaron Pryor." I said to my manager, "I thought you liked me." He said, "I do." I said, "So what the hell you gonna put me there with Aaron Pryor for, man?"
Only thing about Buddy talking about running. Buddy, I want you to know what kind of running I do. I run from the bed to the bathroom. That's it, baby.
Hey, I don't run to the bathroom. I take my time to go to the bathroom. If I don't make it, fuck it. I just don't make it.
Hey man, you know what's funny about that is that we had Mike McCullum on last week, right? And he was talking to Julian Jackson, right? It was not this last Friday, but the Friday before. And he's talking to Julian Jackson, and Julian, like, he wanted that rematch. And Mike was like, "Man, you crazy, man. Why the hell would I get in a rematch with you, man? Every time you hit me, it was like, damn." He's like, "Hell no, I wasn't going to give you a rematch." You know? So yeah, sometimes you get in those situations where you just understand, man, you know, that, I mean, yeah, you probably could beat him, but shit is going to take a lot out of you, you know what I'm saying, just to get that victory, you know?
There's sometimes they always say be careful what you ask for. So,
Yes, sir.
so if you're able to get away with it the first time, they say leave it alone, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, I got one more question, then I'm gonna pass it on to Mark Nash over here. And okay, so this is for both of you again. Tommy, you got Buddy at 140 in his prime, and he's fighting right now, right? He's fighting in this era, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's going in against Tank at 140. Go ahead with that.
Fight like you normally fight.
Okay.
That's what made him who he was. You know, he had a style that was unbelievable. You know, he knew how to change up. You know, he knew how to step around.
Hey, listen, if you fight Frankie Warren, you can fight anybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hey,
Frankie Warren had them big shoulders.
Hey, Tommy, I gotta say this, man. One of your ex-fighters trains fighters in the gym with me, and he talks about you every day, man. And his fighter said to him, "I'm not boxing that guy. He looks too big." And your ex-fighter said, as my trainer Tommy Brooks would say, either you spar that motherfucker or go home. Courage, man. Courage is in the gym with me. Courage said that Tommy made him box 6 days a week until he got it right.
There you go, man. Look. If I'm gonna put you in the ring and everybody in the world is watching it, don't come back to the corner or point the finger at me because I didn't do my job. I'm gonna do my job and make sure you can do yours.
So these guys, they hate. I was laughing. And they're like, "What's so funny, buddy?" I said, "Because I know Tommy. And he would tell you either do what he say or get the hell out the gym."
That's
right. I mean, ain't no questions asked. You know what I mean? And Courage talks about you every day, man.
Something happens to the fighter in the fight. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your wife, everybody's looking at me. Because you messed up. You ain't wrong.
One time I got to say, Courage talks about you every day, Tommy. He talks about you every day.
Yeah, thank you. Tell him I say hello.
Yeah, every day.
All right, I'm gonna pass it on to brother Mark Nash. Mark Nash, floor is yours, baby. Go ahead and jump in.
Yeah. What's popping? Good evening, everyone. How y'all feel?
I can't complain, man.
All right, good. I had two questions. Well, I guess it's a two-part question for both of the coaches. Who would you say had the best hand speed out of all the guys you trained? Also, who had the best footwork? For both coaches.
Oh man.
Yeah, I waited for this one. I know it was a tough one, but I waited for this one.
Hand speed, Antonio Tarver.
Question right there.
Footwork, Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest footwork.
Rest in peace to Brandon. Vernon.
Yeah, rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah.
But Tarver had the fastest hand. And Vernon, man, to me, my personal opinion, the world never ever got to see the best of Vernon Forrest.
Yeah, great fighter.
Even with the way he beat Shane Mosley when Mosley was on top.
Nah. Let me tell you.
Because Pernell Whitaker, he could break you off a 6-piece and then pull your trunks down.
And stand in one spot, though.
Exactly.
That's the thing with Pernell. Pernell can stand right in front of you. You couldn't hit him.
Trunks down. And don't move.
I mean, but footwork, Vernon, man, was unbelievable. I used to have old men come to the gym just to watch Vernon shadowbox. Not to spar, just to watch him shadowbox. And when he got done shadowboxing, they would leave. I'm like, you're not going to watch him spar? They said, we came to see what we wanted to see.
Yeah, wow.
But hand speed, Antonio.
Who did you say, Coach Tommy, was for you? You said Pernell had the hand speed?
And footwork. He got a 6-piece and knocked down.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
He said he could hit you with 6 punches, and then he could pull your trunks down, Mark.
Okay. Can I ask one more? I got time right now, or you want to pass it back around? Troy, Major Key, let me know.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. We good, man. We're not passing out any links until everybody's done here, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? This is Coach's
No
Corner,
problem.
man. We want to get perspectives about the fights, though.
Okay. You said ask a question about the upcoming fight or the fight that just happened?
Either or. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Coach, we see guys a lot of times say, hey, power is the last thing to go, right? Usually they say the reflexes are the first thing, correct?
The legs.
The legs are the first thing, but power is the last thing to go, right?
Yeah.
Some people say certain things. Some people say you got to be born with power. You're not just going to go in a training camp and now this guy's going to be a knockout artist. Do you guys agree or disagree? And if so, can you tell us, if you disagree, can you tell us who you went in there with and say, hey, I worked with him and now I taught him how to throw punches differently and he's stopping guys, or he's more effective with his punches, causing more damage?
I believe punches are born. But you can teach a guy to be a sharp puncher. But one of those like Ernie Shavers type guys, those guys are born, man. That's my belief. I believe that they're born like that, because some of these guys got strength that's just like, there's no way in hell you just I mean, you got to be born with something like that. I mean, some guys might be able to punch you and stun you, you know what I mean? But I'm a firm believer that anybody, if they catch you on the right point, you're going to sleep. They can have no knockouts, but if they touch you on that right spot, you're going to sleep.
Same question for you, Coach Tom.
Behind that, Tim.
Did y'all hear Tommy?
Nah.
What'd you say, Tommy?
I said the key to that is if you got a good punch, you got to know how to follow up and close the show.
Did y'all hear him?
Yeah, I heard him. Got to get a punch. You got to be able to follow. And this will be the last one. This for Mr. McGirt here, buddy. You've seen a lot from the coach's corner, and you've also seen a lot as a fighter yourself. You trained one of my favorite fighters of all time because of the wars he were in. We're talking about the late great Arturo Gatti. God bless his soul. that fight doing Mayweather when you stopped the fight, man, you almost looked like you was almost near tears when you was like, it's okay, champion. It's okay, champion. You know what I'm saying? You was like,
Yeah.
yourself. What goes on in a coach's mind when, hey, we know we had a good training camp. We did not cheat the gym. We did everything right. This guy just has a different gear. He's just a step ahead. Tonight is his night. What describe the emotions that you're going through in that corner? Because this is your guy. These guys are like your sons sometimes, right? Because you really care about them and you love them, right? You care about their family. How do you what describe those emotions that you guys going through? Because we did everything right. We prepared hard, but damn, man, this kid Floyd is up next, and who knew what he was going to become back then?
Listen, that night Floyd was on fire that night. I think he would have beat the heavyweight champ of the world that night. He was on a mission that night. You know what I mean? And I knew it going in, and I was going to stop it a round earlier. And Larry Hazzard walked from one side of the ring all the way around to the corner. And he said, "Are you going to do it or do I have to do it?" And I said, "Let's let him make it back to the corner." When he came back to the corner, that was it.
So
all right.
Take away that Mayweather fight. You've been in that situation before where, hey, we did everything right training. This guy's just a step better. Like, how do you second guess yourself? Do you
No, you don't. That comes down to knowing your fighter. Like, you can say, okay, we might have a chance, but in that fight, he didn't have a chance at all. So my thing was, why subject him or let him subject himself to more punishment? No, I'm an old school guy, and I believe you got to know your fighter. You got to study your fighter. So once you see something's not going his way or your way, then hey, listen, we don't have a chance. I mean, a lot of guys be like, no, let it go. For what? The guy's stepping on the gas, and you can't step on the gas with the guy. So why subject yourself to that? Sometimes I tell a guy, look, go out this round and let it all hang out. If nothing happened, then that's it. I'm stopping it.
That
you kind of stopped it already mentally by saying that.
I'm sorry. Question, you know what I mean? So we can keep moving it around the panel here. When it comes, both of you guys, both coaches, so tell me about a time like who you felt like was the most disciplined that lacked the skills in your gym. Somebody that you felt like, man, if this person had the skills, man, with this type of discipline, man, that'd be like unstoppable. But they just didn't have the skills, but had the discipline. Because I've heard many coaches talk about people that they favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, look at Andy Lee. Look at how Emmanuel Stewart loved Andy Lee, had him living in his house, loved him, and he just didn't have like the. It's not that he didn't have skill. It's just that, bro, he would drop in every fight. Somebody would drop him, and then it was up to whether he could keep standing or if he was going to get knocked out. But those type of things where if he wouldn't have gotten dropped, would he have just dominated the fight? Have you guys run into those situations?
Oh yeah. A couple of times, and it's a situation where you gotta. I believe that you gotta find his strongest point. His when I say strongest point, I mean the thing that he does best that can overcome what he's missing.
And who is that for you?
There's quite a few. I don't want to say their names, but it's been quite a few of them, man.
All right. And what about you, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, I had Pernell wanted to fight. He was training to that. Pernell got a jaw broke in the second round. I told him, look, man, I need to stop this. He said, no, don't stop the fight, coach. This is my career, So, okay, baby, this is your career. So I didn't stop the fight.
But he had the skills, though. He had the skills. I mean, like somebody that
Which fight was that, Tommy? Which fight was that?
Pernell Whitaker against Felix Trinidad.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, now a young Pernell.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Let me stop.
A young Pernell would have stopped him. A young Pernell would have stopped Trinidad.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, young. Yeah.
So, Mr. Brooks, what about for you as far as like somebody that you knew had that great discipline, but just didn't have the skills to carry over? You know, they came in, worked hard. You knew that they were putting in the work, but just didn't have that. You know, it's like some, you know, like they say, white man can't jump. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, some people can't dance. You know, the tango. You know, some people can't do this. Some people can't do that. You know what I mean? And some people lack seasoning when they cook. You know, it's just depending on what you know what they're brought up with. So I'm not trying to insult nobody. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to say, like, you know, some people, they're very disciplined, very hardcore with as far as the agenda is concerned. But as far as like just having the skill, the athleticism to bring it all to fruition, like to bring it, you know, full circle and just be that dominant person in whatever weight division they were in. Did you see anything like that in your coaching experience, Mr. Brooks?
I've always told the guys, look, man, you got all the talent on the sun, but you can't get you can't get hit with a feather. You know what I mean? You need to find something else to do. You know, I'm not going to be the one to talk to your mother, your father, your wife. You know, tell them what happened. You know, I don't want that on my heart. You know.
Yeah.
You need to find something else to do.
That's what's up.
Now,
Well, I'll pass it off to Coach Malachi, man. My bad. I just needed to get both of y'all to answer that one, at least just for the crowd, you know.
Hey, buddy, I had a quick question I wanted to ask you. Tell me what do you remember? You know, as you got, you know, you had a lot of damn fights, but what do you remember when you went on the you know, got to the tail end of your career when you fought what's that guy named Andre Council? What do you remember about that fight?
Honestly, absolutely nothing.
why is that? Why is that?
That is a true story. He hit me in the second round with a shot. And all I remember is being at the press conference with my daughter sitting on my lap. And I said to my wife, "Why are we here?" And she said, "The fight is over." I'm like, "What?" She says, "You lost." I was like, "Dang, I did." She's like, "Yeah." I had no clue because to be honest, I shouldn't have been fighting at middleweight. That's number one. Number two, in 1994, I fought a kid named Pat Coleman right before I got the rematch with Pernell. And they told me after that fight with Pat Coleman that I had the rematch with Pernell. And when they told me that, the desire to fight left my body right then and there that day. So from every fight after the Pat Coleman fight, the desire to fight was gone. Even in the second Whitaker fight, my desire to fight was not there anymore. I mean, my wife told me, you know, I started crying in the dressing room after the Pat Coleman fight. When they told me that, my wife's like, "What are you crying for?" I looked at her and said, "Baby, I don't want to fight no more." And she's like, "What?" I said, "It's gone. The desire is gone." I came back from an injury they said I couldn't come back from. They said I couldn't get another championship fight. So in 1 year, I came back. I fought everybody they put in front of me. And now they tell me I got the fight. But the desire was gone. I was tired, man. I was like, I'm done with it.
That's champion right there.
I mean, I was done with it, you know. So after that, you know, when I fought Pernell the second time, I said, I got to go out and shoot my load early, see if I could get him out of there. But when I knocked him down and he got up and I saw him bouncing, I said to myself, it's going to be a long goddamn night. And so after the fight, this is what cracked. I tell everybody it's a true story. After the fight, you know, I'm going back to the dressing room and everybody's crying. So I looked at my homeboy, he's hugging me, and I said, "Yo, dog," I said, "Did he beat me that bad?" He said, "Nah, buddy. He tore your ass out the frame."
Oh man. Bro,
It takes a true champion to say that. It takes a true champion to say that.
Man, I'm like, hey, Tommy, I had a question for you because you know I was a diehard, you know, still to this day. I got I have Pernell on the wall up here, man. I have Pernell. Hold on, I got.
Can I say one thing before you ask Tommy that question? I'm gonna say this. I'm just sitting here thinking right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 of my losses. Tommy was in the other damn corner. I just thought about that shit. Tommy
That's your kryptonite, buddy.
Tommy was in the other corner. Tommy and Georgie Benton were in the other corner every damn time. I just remember that shit.
You say 4 of your losses?
4 of my losses.
Well, you only had what, 6 losses?
Yeah. 4 of those losses. Tommy and Georgie Benton were in the other damn corner.
Which okay, we know Pernell. We know
Pernell twice. Pernell twice. Frankie Warren and Meldrick Taylor.
Oh, yeah, Frankie Warren. Yeah, that was bad.
Frankie Warren was the first one, right, buddy?
Yeah, 1986. I remember now. I see Tommy smiling ass in another corner. I remember that shit now. But man, man, it's like, but it's all love though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just, people say, yo, man, you got beat. All right, look, it's part of the game. You know what I mean? I mean, it's part of the game. I thank God that I retired healthy. You know what I mean? And I'm not no injuries except the shoulder. So I mean, I can't complain, man. I had a lot of fun.
Okay.
Take a chance.
Hey, Tommy, I have a question for you. I know you've been training a long time. We know some of the legendary trainers that you learned from and stuff like that. But this is more about. You told me about one time you didn't get paid because Evander Holyfield didn't get paid, right? I guess from a promoter, from a fighter, whatever the case may be. And you did tell me that Holyfield was the first fighter to, I think, to give you a bonus. In your fights. When you was a trainer, when you was training, right? Let me just get to it. It seemed like today these fighters, they have a lot of, you see a lot of like they with hyperbolic chambers, like I seen Floyd Mayweather in one and stuff like that. When Buddy was boxing and then the fighters that you trained, Tommy, you didn't have a lot of the technologies and science that they have now. How did you? Do you prefer the old school style of training, whatever that is, versus now, or is it different now from what you can remember?
No, I prefer the old school style.
100%. I agree with you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I asked that, because it seems like. Sorry about that.
You see the guys in the ring, you see what they can do, you see what they can't do, and then you formulate your fight plan from there. But if you got a guy in a hyperbolic chamber, I'm not kidding some shit like that. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what the repercussions going to be from that,
Okay.
But if you see them in the gym every day, you see what kind of punch they can take, what they can dish out, you out there on the road with them in the morning, you know how far they can go. You know what I mean? You know if they're in shape or if they're not in shape.
Yeah, and
you know what they can do and what they can't do.
Right.
I tell you what, Tommy.
I'm with you on that, Tommy. I'm old school. My fighters get mad at me, but I don't give a damn. I'm old school.
Yeah, I want to jump in here real quick, fellas. When you say old school, you might have to break it down for listeners, because to me, based on the reading I did or just listening to, brother, Eddie Fudd speak, he basically said that he learned the fighters, he learned their strengths and their weaknesses, and he started from that. That's how he broke them down, and that's how he built them up.
That's what I mean by the old school. If you learn what a fighter can do and what he can't do, then you can make your fight plan from that.
But if you're sending guys to strength and conditioning guys, that's a waste of time. You motherfuckers throwing medicine balls up in the air and slamming them on the ground. It's like, come on, man. You got to get in here and learn your craft.
Exactly.
You got to learn your craft. Coach, I had a fighter ask me the other day. I said, yo, man, I want you to get your ass up at 6 o'clock and run. You know what he said to me? He goes, but coach, I'm sparring at 1. I said, good. After you run, you can eat and rest until 12:30 and come to the gym and box. And everyone's looking at me, well, why you? I said, man, look, check this out. If you're not going to do it that way, go home and don't come back tomorrow. I don't want to hear I'm going to run on the treadmill later. No. I said, I want you to get up at 6 o'clock, hit that road.
Yeah.
And now this was for a week. Now he came in today and said, Coach, thank you. I feel so much better. All right, no problem. You know, some of these guys, they want to, oh, I'm sparring today. I can't run. Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
You got to be in shape to get in shape.
Mm, mm.
If you're in shape, you retain everything that the trainer is telling you. You know, if you're not in shape, if your lungs are on fire, your legs feel like jello, you do good for nothing. You know, you can't retain anything.
And the old school sparred 6 days a week. We sparred 6 days a week, man.
Exactly.
Now these guys
Wow.
go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, I want to ask both of you gentlemen a question. Does it seem like boxing, as far as from top to bottom, is more business than it is like
Without a doubt.
sport?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say yeah.
And as far as from top to bottom, the training and everything else, because
I would say it's more of a business now.
right, because Buddy, you said something that threw me off when you said the brother told you he has to spar at 1 a.m. I mean,
No,
at 1 in
one
the
of-
afternoon.
Yeah. I'm like,
What
I
does
don't give a
one have to
damn.
do with the other one?
Exactly. That's
Huh?
the whole thing. You're telling it. You're gonna be a fighter. Be a fighter. You know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a punk ass. Stay your ass at home. Don't mess up my time. You know. I got other people that want to be fighters. You know.
And then I told him one day, I said, look, I want you to just use your left hand. Now this kid can fight, man. This kid can fight. He goes, what? I said, if you throw one right hand, I'm gonna start the round over. If you throw one, I'm gonna start the round over. It took him 3 rounds to get it, but after that, he was beating the hell. They were like, damn. He's like, Coach, how did you know? I said, look, I'm not gonna ask you to do something you can't do. If I didn't think you could do it, I wouldn't ask you to do it. And he was like, wow, I didn't think of that. I said, now have a good.
The jab is the best weapon that you got, offense and defense.
Hey, I got on the shirt right now that says, when in doubt, stick it out.
Exactly.
There you
Hey,
go.
That's
There
the
you go.
perfect segue to my question. I'm sorry, am I next after you, Troy?
No. No, actually, let's do this. Let's go ahead and move it around because it is almost 10:30 in about 13 minutes. And what I want to say to everybody, everyone is invited after this. Troy, I think you locked it in for an hour. Mark, I know you go live after this. Coach, I'm not sure what you're doing, but I'm going to continue because I want to chop it up. I haven't really done a chopping up of Major Key Monday with my audience for a while. So I do want to include my audience after an hour. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat after an hour and everybody could come here and chop it up. Free smoke. Everybody could just talk, speak their mind. We could chop up a couple of conversations. And I'm gonna try to do that a couple more times a month than we've been doing just straight interviews. But I built my channel also engaging my crowd. So with that being said, yes, absolutely, Mark, you're my guest as well. You know what I'm saying, panelist forever, my brother. So you go ahead and ask your questions as well.
Thank you. I like that shirt. When in doubt, stick it out. Goes 2-part question. Who had the best jab out of everybody you trained, buddy? And who had the best chin? Same question for you, Coach Tommy.
Ooh, geez, that's a tough question.
Look, we ain't playing tonight. I can't prepare, Coach. Let's get
I
it.
see that. Vernon Forrest had the best jab.
Yeah. Mark Breland had a great jab. Van Holyfield had a good jab. Actually, Mike Tyson had a good jab too.
When he used it.
But he hardly ever used it.
Who had the best chin, Coach McGirt, and then after that, Coach Tommy?
Best chin. Interesting question. Wow, the best chin. Damn, that's a good question, man. I gotta think on that for a minute.
No problem. How about you, Coach Tommy? You want to answer that while he's thinking?
That's a hard question for me. I mean, most of the guys, the key what I try to teach the guys is don't get hit on the fucking chin.
See, that's what we don't want to find out if a guy can take a punch. We don't want to find out.
I've seen Robin could take a shot. Vinny Pazienza could take a shot. Actually, all the guys that I work with, Purnell could take a shot. I've seen him take some shots. Holyfield took some shots. Tyson took some shots.
Did you train Ray Mercer?
No, I didn't work with Ray.
You didn't work with Ray? Okay.
No, I didn't work with Ray.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say that man could take a
He can take a shot too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
but-
there's an old saying. One thing you don't want to find out is if your guy can take a punch.
Fair enough. Well, let's answer this one instead then. And this will be my last question. I appreciate everybody there. I appreciate everybody's time, and thanks again for having me on, Major Key. Buddy, what would be the highlight of your career, whether it was from being in the corner or being in the ring? When you look back at your career, and you've done a lot, same thing for you, Coach Tommy. When you look back, you're like, wow. When they show the movie of my life, they got to put this scene in here. Some of those losses.
Everything.
Oh man,
Everything.
that's a good answer.
Everything, because being a fighter and being a trainer, it's hard, you can't really explain it, but it's the greatest feeling in the world to train someone to outsmart another guy and watch him go in there and do it successfully. But more importantly, everything about it, because it was a great experience. Win, lose, or draw, it was a great experience. You know, and you meet some of the nicest people in boxing, regardless of what people say or think about the game. You meet some of the nicest people in boxing.
How about you, Coach Tommy? What was one of your highlights? Was it, winning your first title?
Well, I think one of the best highlights for me as a fighter and a trainer was I got to go all over the world. I grew up in San Diego, Port of San Diego, and I had the opportunity to go all over the world.
That's true.
Beautiful, man.
You get to live a life that people dream of. I mean, we were talking about that today in the gym. I'm like, yo, man, I've done stuff that I've dreamed of doing as a kid, and boxing enabled me to do it.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, Mark, please let everybody know, and please subscribe to Mark Nash if you're not already. You guys are crazy if you haven't. My man's not only a content creator talking about all type of different things, not just boxing, but also a great guy when it comes to making beats, a great guy when it comes to editing, videography, all types of things like that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to continue talking, but he's showing his show at the end of the day. So if you miss mine or miss his, it's all good. Go to his or come to stay on mine. It doesn't matter, but please catch a replay, whoever you miss. That's all I ask, you know what I mean? And hit the like button. You know what I mean? And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. So go ahead and plug your channel, Mark.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Yeah. What's popping? It's your man, Mark Nash. I am the host of Breaking Beats, where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and pretty much anything else I feel like squeezing into those letters. My show is a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. So we're going to get some jokes off, let it fly. We get into a little relationship talk tonight. You find a sex tape from your girl still got a sex tape of her ex. You find it. What do you do? Also, we're going to talk about Rolly calling out Devin Haney. And we're going to do One Gotta Go, Denzel Washington movies. I got a list of 5 up. We're going to pick which one is the weakest link. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
For asking that question.
Can I answer one of those questions?
Hell yeah. I'll be remiss if I didn't let you answer. You the man.
If I find a sex tape of my woman and her ex, I'm going to look at it to see what he didn't do so I can keep her ass.
Yeah, because everybody's there.
Salute,
I'm
salute.
pretty sure they can hear
Good
me. But I
answer.
can't
I'm gonna
hear
use that clip right there. That was hilarious. But Major Key, thanks again
Hold
for
on
the
a minute.
opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. You know, you're my brother.
All right, so if I see the fake Major Key over there, don't click them on. It's not gonna be you.
Hey man, hey, if you see a major, listen, you already know I got a wrench over there, man. I usually just say what's up, click the like and click the link and pop up. That's it, man. If I'm not doing that, that's not me.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, man. Thank you again, man. God bless you all. I wish you guys nothing but health, wealth, and prosperity. I'll see you on the next episode. Don't be a stranger, Coach. We look forward to seeing you again.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Tommy, take care, man.
All right, Coach Malachi. Bye, Troy. Peace.
All right, salute.
Coach, go ahead, brother. Oh man.
Oh yeah, buddy.
That happened kind of fast, bro.
Oh yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It is what it is.
We got stood up. We got stood up right here. You know.
Yeah. You know, ain't no problem, man. But hey, man. I apologize about the day, man. I looked on my phone. I said, damn. I see Glenn hit me up. Then I looking through the chats later, earlier, and I'm like, damn, he hit me up again with the link, and I'm like, damn, I didn't see it, bro. I literally didn't see it.
Yo, I think you saw it, bro. I'm just kidding, bro.
No, because I had Troy on.
I know how it is, man. Sometimes people be hitting me up like afterward, but that's kind of like how I feel right now. You know, so Troy, hold up. Troy came back. Hold on. I don't know if he has Tommy still here. One second. Yes, sir. Troy. Troy, you live?
Yeah, I know. Tommy's still here. So yeah, Tommy, the show.
That's perfect.
All right, that's great then.
Coach, you don't have to leave if you don't want to. Malachi.
No, I'm gonna roll out for a few.
Okay, all right. So if you do, then unless you have any final questions for Mr. Brooks, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, man. Tommy, my guy, man. Him and Buddy McGirt, man. So you know,
right.
hey, Tommy, Coach, remember what I told you, man. I'm coming out of retirement, right? I'm coming out of retirement now. We got to get the bag. We got to get the check. I'm coming out of retirement. I don't know who I'm gonna fight yet. It might be Crawford. It might be Canelo. Whoever it is. You know, I'm coming out of retirement. I need you to train me. I need you to get one good round out of me. What is it that you can, you already said that you got to see what I got. I got a little something now from back in 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Now I got a little something now. You see what I'm saying? And 94, up in that range, right? Now I need you to get a good round out of me. What you can show me?
Hey, Coach left as soon as you said 93.
Oh, 93. Oh, he gone?
He came back.
Oh.
Hey, Coach left as soon as you said 93.
Oh, 93. Oh, he gone?
He came back.
Oh. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I said we got to see what you got, what you're working with before we do that.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm coming out of retirement, man. I just need one good fight. That's it. Hey, Coach, man, remember this: if all else fails, throw the towel in. I ain't gonna have no problem with that. Throw the towel in. Hey, you go ahead, Troy. Go ahead, man. Hey, man. Hey, like I said, you ain't never heard a fighter hold on. You ever seen a fighter in the ring when he grab on his opponent and yell to the corner, throw the towel in? That's gonna be me. I'm throwing it. Throw the towel in, Coach. I don't have enough. But I gotta make it these 3 minutes. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I think I can hold on for 3 minutes. I at least think I can hold on for 3 minutes. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, Coach.
Troy, you sound robotic.
Definitely.
Troy, you sound robotic, man.
Yeah, we're not hearing you really clear, Troy.
Okay.
Man, Troy, you always having phone problems, man. You got to step your game up, man.
For real, man. You gotta move to Miami.
You got to step the game up, Troy, man. I'm highly disappointed in you, man. You got the legendary Tommy Brooks on, and come on, man. You got to do better, man. Gotta do better, man. I'm coming out of retirement. I got all the belts though. I got the WBC over there, the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, and I have the IBO. I got all the belts. I'm already undisputed. You see what I'm saying? But I'm gonna come out of retirement. This is one last time. You know, I'll probably get Bud. You know, that southpaw shit ain't gonna work with me. He can switch all he want. He in trouble for that one round. After that, you know, Canelo, whoever want to smoke, whoever want this one round fight, you know, it is what it is. You know, and that's where I'm at with it. I need Tommy to train me. I just need one good round. That's it. One good round, and we're gonna be good. If all else fails, throw the towel in. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Throw the towel in if all else fails. You know, it ain't no shame in that.
That's what's up. Yo, Troy, you back in the building. What's good?
Troy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You know,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So then talk to him, so we can hear you.
I'm good, man. You know, I switched to my phone. I'm off my tablet, so all is good.
Okay, that's good. So all right, that's good, man. So what's up? What you got to say?
Yeah, man.
About what? You and Tommy training?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm coming out of retirement for one fight.
All right. Well, yeah. How much you weigh? About 190, something like that.
No. I'm 175. I'm out to cut weight.
About 175. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you think you could take on Bivol or Beterbiev?
No, hell no. No, hell no.
No.
What about Canelo if he moves up?
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna cut weight. I'm gonna come down about. I'm gonna drop about 20, 25 pounds somewhere up in there. I'm gonna come in at like junior middleweight. And if I can catch Canelo at a catch weight at 160, or if I can catch Crawford at like a catch weight at 154, he come up, I come down. I want that smoke.
So
one round now. That's it.
So you want Joey Spencer or Sebastian Fundora to fuck you up then? That's what you saying?
I got to fight for you, coach. You got to fight.
I'm listening, bro. I'm listening.
I got to fight you, man.
Joey Spencer or Sebastian Fundora?
No, it got to be for the bag, man. I'm trying to land one of these big fish. You guys try to throw me in there with a screw. I'm saying I want Canelo or Crawford.
How you gonna go down to 154 and call out Canelo, man? Man, come on.
No.
I got a bigger fish, coach. You ain't got to lose that much weight. I got a bigger fish for you.
What's that?
I tell you what, if you get to about 168, because he's about that weight and maybe a little heavier right now, right?
Okay.
I see De La Hoya coming out retirement right there. It don't get no bigger than that, baby.
Oh yeah. I think yeah.
All you got to do, man, is don't look at them high heels and the fishnets when he come in the ring. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You're gonna go from Coach Malachi to Money Malachi after that.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, listen. We can promote the fight. It's gonna be us three. We're gonna promote the fight. We're gonna talk a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? I can talk with the best of them. So we're gonna get somebody in that ring. When they get in the ring, you be McCut, man. Glenn, you be McCut, man. Now you probably ain't got to worry about getting cut. It's only gonna last one round.
Hey, listen, man. I'm at the Rikers Island, man. I might cut you by mistake. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? Are you talking about cleaning cuts? Like, hey, listen, I'm Puerto Rican, man. I might cut you by mistake. Like, we talking about? Like, I gotta clean up cuts.
No. I tell you what I'll do, coach. I wear two hats, right? I'll be the manager and I'll be the promoter. You pay me 30%, so I can pray brother his 15%, and we all good to go. Baby.
Hey, he said pay you 30% to be what, the manager and what else?
Just like in Wilder Corner, I'll be the manager, and the promoter. Hey, don't ask me to watch your hands get wrapped, though. Don't ask me to watch your hands get wrapped.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna need some egg weights. Even though you can't put it in your glove, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna need something.
Hey, don't worry about the person you fighting, bro. We'll take care of that. You know what I mean? But this is being recorded, so we can't talk too much about that. All I'm saying is, don't call me to be a cut man because I might misinterpret that.
Hey, listen. If all else fails, I get him in the corner. We just got to work him.
Trust me, you ain't gonna fail. You know I'm Jamaican, man. You know I'm gonna make you that special bottle. Yeah, man. Don't make you that special bottle, coach. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Hey, we're gonna have to work him. Hey, Glenn, we're gonna have to work him now. We get in that corner. You know,
Hey, I'm the cut man, man. I'm slashing ankles when I'm walking by the ring. You know what I'm saying? They fall. They get jabbed in the ass by something. They don't even realize what it is. You know, pause, nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, what's going on, Myron? How you doing, brother? Myron, your mic working?
Yeah, my mic working fine.
Okay, what's up?
Myron.
Sorry, what's happening?
It's on you, baby. Go ahead and speak your piece, brother. Go ahead.
I'm enjoying the show. Go ahead. I'll plug in when I feel like it. It's all good.
Hey, you good.
Great show, guys. Great show, everybody.
Thank you. But you showed up for something. So speak your mind, brother. Like, hey.
I showed up. You just sent me a link. That's why I showed up. What are you talking about?
I sent you a link, bro.
You just sent me a link.
I sent the whole damn chat a link plus everybody that I know so they don't lose the link. What are you talking about?
And that's why I showed up. You sent the link.
So then talk. What the fuck? When you clicked on the link without talking?
Hold up.
Talk about the draw with Charlo, brother. Go ahead and talk about the draw with Charlo.
Okay, that's true.
He said you showed up for something.
And you clicked the link. So what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk.
Bro, this dude say I'm a KO Crawford hugging him.
I saw that. I saw that.
Damn sure is. I'm hugging his ass to death. I don't care how strong he is. He gonna catch hell getting me off of him.
Ooh.
How tall are you, coach?
I'm 5'6".
Okay.
He gonna catch hell get me off of him. I'm holding on tight. Yeah, listen, you ever have a dude? I had a fight with a dude a long time ago, right? This dude was strong as hell. You ever had a fight with a guy, but you don't realize you in trouble until that you meet that moment, right? I mean, this dude locked up, and bro, when I felt how strong he was, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Bro, words can only. I'm talking about like fear just hit. Like I couldn't do nothing with him, bro. He was too strong. He was too strong. It was like it's like 89.
What's your reach?
I got 67 in arm reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same issue, but it was a different thing. You know, I used to like really big women, and but
that's why you Jamaican. That's why you Jamaican. You Jamaicans like them big women.
Oh.
He had a reach disadvantage though.
Hey, listen. Hey, hold on.
Pun intended, huh? Made you keep getting low blows.
I see what you're doing now. You know, I see what you're putting down. Hey,
my brother. Hey, hold on.
You had a big girl with a reach disadvantage, Troy. Is that true? You had a reach disadvantage? No pun intended.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Hey, listen. Hey, hold on. Is it true? Hold on, guys. They made the key. Now, do you know the thing about this? Is it true that Jamaicans like big women?
No.
Why are you asking the Dominican?
Jamaican, no.
Exactly.
You know damn well, man, Troy, you know already that I grew up around Jamaica. Let me tell you something. As an outside observer, right? My family's cruising, not Jamaican, but I grew up around a lot of Jamaicans. Let me tell you something right now. Them dudes are looking for some twerking. Back in the day, it was like bum flicking, you know what I'm saying, and whatever else you want to call it, or whatever new reggae dance was coming out. They're looking for the ass that's jiggling, you know what I'm saying, and they trying to smash, you know what I'm saying, and that's what you can see in any type of dancehall reggae video, you know what I'm saying. It's always the same thing. So he can, especially his age, 50, man. That's what he grew up with, man. He know damn well he was looking for that.
Okay, well, let me clarify, since I'm the Jamaican on board. Bati wine now, murder. That's what he's talking about.
He says he's such a Jamaican on board.
Hold up, but he got a half one here because my father's side is West Indian Jamaican, so he by
Something Jamaican on board. Hey, listen, man. Hey, I'm just joking, man. Hey, listen, no, but all jokes aside, come, listen. If you come to Florida, right? If you go through Tampa, and it was a club back in the day called the Jamaican Bar. It was in Ybor City, bro. I'm telling you, it called it the Jamaican Bar. But the Jamaican Bar was a bunch of skinny Jamaicans and some big American black women, right there.
They was getting ready for the winter, homie.
And I'm telling you, so this is where I get this. This is where I get this from. You see what I'm telling you, bro?
Coach,
He was getting ready for the winter.
Your section in Coconut Grove. I used to go back in the day to Hungry Sailor. Remember Hungry Sailor over there in Coconut Grove?
Yeah, Coconut Grove. Yeah, the Grove. Yeah,
that was a completely Jamaican club. You know what I'm saying? I used to go over there with some dealers, like some high end.
Yo, Major Key.
We got Texas Boxing up in the building. What up, bro?
Hey, take that picture off, Joe. Look at his fucking screenshot.
Take that off the picture.
Oh my
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you know who that is? That's fucking Hefe. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know.
Oh, Hefe.
I checked before.
Hefe with the LGBT movement.
Yeah,
now we know.
He got mad because I blocked him from the channel, and I unblocked him the other day because he kept begging me. But I guess he's gonna stay blocked now forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Hefe, you a nasty motherfucker.
Yeah,
for real?
That's that little. That's a little gay clique he down with, man.
Wow.
Oh shit. El Sese.
And I ain't got nothing wrong with gay people, but people that do this in the boxing community just pop
Slim,
up.
he just put a.
Man. That's that.
You sure that's no Hefe?
That is Hefe. Trust me.
What's up, my brothers? I had to go rinse my eyes out with vinegar after looking at that.
Yeah, Bruce. You're right, Bruce.
You came in here, Bruce. You were so quiet, man. What's up, bro?
Bruce about to go blind from that pick.
I'm listening to Coach talk about making his comeback over there, man. I want to help him out with his diet, man. You know, if you want to take some fat off, put a little muscle on, dude, we'll go through that. We'll get them protein rates, those carbohydrate ratios. We'll get everything into key, and we'll get you up or down any weight you want to be, bro. We'll get that cardio and fine tune. We'll lay off those heavy weights, man. We'll get you down to some reps. We'll get some freaking speed in you, bro. We'll get Meldrick Taylor out of your hands. Like you was saying, man, we'll get those feet working. Bro, 1 round, no problem. You're a millionaire.
Hey, listen. I know I got a good one round in me, at least. You know, we got to do whatever we got to do. Hold on or whatever. Don't matter. You know,
if you suck down. You're at 175 right now, right?
Right. I want to get down about. You
look like you're lifting a lot of weights.
No, I got 12% body fat. But I have.
Are you lifting a lot of weights?
Yeah, I got a lot of weight in my.
No, you got body fat to lose, Coach. Back in my day, man, anything over 10%, we would consider ourselves a little chubby. So 2%, we could definitely whittle that down, man. You're walking around 160.
What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Yo, and he showed black and brown moving first. That's what they've been doing.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
What the hell is this,
man? Let me explain to you guys, just so y'all know. They figured out how to put like some moving action with the person authenticated, because I checked it and it said black and brown on the authentication, and it showed him moving like this, moving his hat like this. And then I showed it, and then that's what happened. So they got
some upgraded shit, you got. You got some real.
Damn, bro, you got some people.
Yeah.
All right, hold up.
Hey, Major Key. Why don't you just get rid of the link inside the freaking chat, bro?
How do you get rid of the link itself?
You put the link there. Just go and remove it.
Yeah. But
go hit on it.
Like, is there any other way to like?
Go hit on it. Go hit on it and remove it.
You can kick us all out. Send us another link in our mail and come back again.
I'm just not gonna let anybody else on. Put it like that. How about that?
Okay, because you got the link in the chat. All right.
Yeah.
You're getting troll bombed over here.
When they click on it, I have to let them on, so I'm not letting them on anymore.
Right.
Bro,
that's why Mark called me up the other day. He called me at like 4:00 in the morning. I didn't see it till the next day, and apparently somebody did the same shit. They had me on, and I was dead ass asleep. And they had a picture of me moving in there, and it wasn't me because I was sleeping.
Who,
But yo,
who can waste their time doing something like that, man? You know, Jesus Christ, I don't have enough hours in my day.
bro,
And you
when I
can do
was that
something
age,
else.
man, when I was that age, bro, I had no time for that, bro. I don't understand how they have time like that, man. I just didn't have time like that, man. I was moving around. Back when I was 22 years old, man, I was still in Miami, bro. And I was in South Beach every single weekend, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I wasn't in South Beach, I was in some pool hall over there on Sunny Isles, you know what I'm saying? In North Miami Beach. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all over the place, man. I wasn't, you know, on the internet, bro. Like that shit is crazy. You know?
I think you just suck down to like 160, Malachi. You keep your strength. You know what I mean? You lose only 15 pounds. You know what I mean? Because I know just losing a lot of weight, me being at like 180 and going down to like, 180, right now about 185, but sucking down to like 165 again at my age, it weakened me quite a bit because you have to strip a lot of muscle. So, man, you just probably want to strip your water weight, homie. Like you said, 155, but I think 160. Because you look like you thick, like you've been lifting weights.
Yeah, I got no, I got my legs. So a lot of weight. My weight is in my legs, my quads and stuff like that. So, yeah, but I can drop down. I just need one round, bro. We got to get the check. I'm gonna sell the fight. I'm gonna sell the fight. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna talk so much shit. I promise you, I'm gonna go get us the fight. Just get me in shape. And I need one round with Crawford or Canelo. That's it. One of those two. You know what I mean? I think probably Canelo. We gonna get the bag from Canelo. So now I don't know how I'm gonna survive a body shot now, but listen, I'm gonna hold on for dear life. You ain't gotta worry about that.
I say put them both in there. Have a fatal three-way.
A fatal three-way. I saw that movie.
Hey, I'm gonna get on the bicycle. I don't know, but Canelo and Crawford can cut the ring off pretty good. So, I don't know. But don't worry about that. Just Bruce, we're gonna do that. Gonna cut the weight, get me in shape.
Not a problem, bro. Not a problem.
One round, that's it. You know what I mean? Hey, Major Key, man, you got some. Oh my God, bro, you have some next level trolls. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Have some.
No, I'm sorry, Coach, for cutting you off. Let me say this. They can come as hard as they want. They can come as hard as they want. They can do what they want.
Pause.
Yeah. Right. Coach, my point was, all they gonna do is hurt themselves because everybody know the man's character. That's why when I found out about it, I said flat out it's not him. It was no questions asked. It's just not him. All you're doing is hurting your own character, man. Because if you have a page and you're doing this foolishness, everybody knows it's not this brother over here. Everybody knows that. So, all you're doing is hurting your damn self. So, my advice to you, keep it up. Keep it up because you're going to vanish very soon. So keep it up. Thank you very much.
But hey, question. It refers to the show today. I wish you to ask Buddy McGirt, like who he thinks the other two, Coach,
Tommy Brooks.
Mr. Brooks, who he think, how he see a fight between a prime Mildred Taylor versus a prime Pernell Whitaker. I put that question in the chat to be asked, and I was hoping y'all would ask one of those questions. I would love y'all to read off. Yeah, I put that in there. I was like, I hope Major Keys. I put a couple of questions in there for Buddy McGirt. But how you see a prime Mildred Taylor, because he lost to both of those men. A prime Mildred Taylor versus a prime Pernell Whitaker. I think that would have been like a burner.
He probably would have said Pernell, man. He said Pernell was something special, man.
Pernell was the better boxer. Mildred just had to speak.
Right.
And the saddest thing was that fight could have happened, but they were both Duva fighters. And so that fight was never going to happen. Same thing with Pazienza when he had the title. He mentioned him tonight. Those three guys just weren't going to fight each other because they were all Duva fighters. And, there was too much money to be made on the outside without splitting up the trio.
Right. Do you also think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't both of those two on the same Olympic team in '84?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they probably had a close there too.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Maybe a bond too. Just curious. Another question. Go ahead.
No. You're right. No, it wasn't Olympics ago. You're right.
Yeah. Without a doubt, those two was on the '84 Olympic team as far as not Mercer, but Holyfield. They were stacked. Braylon, if I'm not mistaken, all of them was on that team.
As a matter of fact, I think Breland, you know, if my memory, Bruce, if my memory serves me correct, wasn't Breland considered the best fighter out of that on that team?
Yeah, I think Breland won the Val Barker Award that year. You know, five-time New York Golden Gloves champ. He was a standout, man. He was, all his fights were televised. You know, Breland was almost a show in that gold, but everybody else surprised, man, because a lot of the team won gold that year. It was a great year.
But
that was in the California Olympics, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, so the Russians weren't there, Cubans weren't there, so you know it was. I mean, I remember McDonald's was putting gold medals in their, you know, in their hamburgers to win them, and everybody was winning because the U.S. was covered in gold that year.
Pernell Whitaker was the captain of that team, was he not?
Yo, hold on 1 second, gentlemen. Yo, Roland, if that's you, text me, bro, because I'm not trusting nobody else, bro. If that's you, text me. You got my number. Go ahead, Myron.
I believe Pernell Whitaker was the captain of that team too.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I don't know that deep, man. But I remember following those Olympics, man. You know, Tyrell Biggs in the heavyweight division, and that was, yeah, because Mike Tyson wanted to be in those Olympics, but he got beat by Henry Tillman in the trials, and Tillman went to the Olympics. He got the heavyweight gold, where Biggs got the super heavyweight, and back in the pros. Tyson walked through Henry Tillman like he was, you know, like a hot knife through butter, 1-round knockout. So it just goes to show you, man, anything can happen in boxing.
And you know, because you hear a lot, you know, Bruce, you hear a lot about, yeah, man, with this guy lost to this guy, and even today with, you know, some of the fighters with Castano, they say, well, you know, he beat Errol Spence, in the amateurs and stuff like that, but like you say, like, you know, when you meet a person in the pros. You know, just because you beat him in the amateurs doesn't necessarily mean you're going to beat him in the pros as well. You know, not in every case, anyways. You know.
Yeah, one of the most famous stories is Joe Frazier in the Olympics. He was beaten by Buster Mathis twice in the Olympic trials, but Buster Mathis got hurt. Joe Frazier actually broke his thumb. He went in there and won a gold medal with a broken thumb as a sub for Buster Mathis because he was just tough. You know, Joe Frazier, they don't build him like that anymore. That was an alpha male.
It's amazing you say that because that's what I was going to ask Buddy McGirt and Tommy Brooks before the show had ended, before they left. And I was like, man, it just seems like to me that these fighters today are not as tough as those fighters were in the 70s or even the 80s or I even say throughout the 90s. I would say they had more of a mental toughness. It was more like, man, they wanted the big fights and stuff like that. Now it seems like it's more diva-ish.
Yes.
You
know, it's like, I don't know, man. I
wanted to say something to Buddy because Buddy, I've heard him in interviews before. He used to travel 3 hours each way to the gym to train. Every day. Now, there was no time for any bullshit there, man. You know, now they're driving Bentleys after 12 fights. So how can you keep that edge? You know, getting up at 6 a.m. to make it to the gym for 11 o'clock and you're in there for 5 hours. Then you get on there three hours to get home. That's an alpha male. That's a tough individual. They're just not cut from that cloth anymore. I mean, these guys are taking a year break in between fights. You know, that used to be a suspension. You know, Muhammad Ali, they say, took off 3 years, the prime of his career. These guys are doing that voluntarily now, you know, a year and a half. It's ridiculous. And how can they stay sharp and how can they climb that ladder? How can they create excitement when they're sitting home on the couch like we are right now, man? It's crazy.
That's also, in my opinion, the industry. If we compare it today to back then, that's also kind of like the industry as well. If the industry is not demanding the fighters do more, and I think if you're dealing with particular hate to say stables, but fight promotional companies, they're more like I think should I say catering to the fighter a little bit more to retain them on that stable. You feel me? Because
I don't feel like they're paying their dues today. Whereas look at Buddy, man. Like,
right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's where I was going. They're not paying their dues, a lot of them. The fights, in my opinion, the best fights are being a little stretched out, maybe because they feel it's thin, but they're not demanding as much from the fighters today as they did back in the day. So I don't think that they're not cut from that cloth, to be honest. I think it goes back to what all the gentlemen was on, the training. If they was raised in a different environment where it was more tougher from youth, it was tougher on them, then they'd be acclimated, and that's all they would know. But if they're raised more like a farms and they're given this and they're given that and they're more pampered from a young age, come up in the sport, then that's how they're going to perform in the sport. So the other question I have for McGirt, the one question I also have him that I didn't type in for McGirt and Mr. Brooks, is that do they feel, in their opinion, that today's it was back to the training? Do the training methods of today affecting the fighter quality, the quality of fights that we get in the day? Because if these fighters, I believe today, was training more in the old school method, we'll have more classic fights today because they'd be better craftsmen, they'd be, more sharper, and they'll have more hunger in the fight and giving fans something they can remember that can still make the sport thrive, in my opinion. The sport's not thriving at all because the fans aren't inspired by the fights. You feel me? And that's what's killing the sport. That's why they're making up these lies saying pay-per-view is dead. Bullshit, because MMA is killing in pay-per-view. And during the pandemic, they're setting records in pay-per-view. It's just boxing isn't. And MMA, what MMA is doing that boxing isn't, is giving memorable moments to the fans that make them go back, watch fights over again, highlights, knockouts. The same fighters today are being catered and pampered too much. And that inner beast that I need to get it ain't being brought out of them because the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So I don't believe they're not cut from that cloth. I just believe they're not being raised under the same cloth as the older fighters.
Okay, but see, Buddy's a modern trainer now. He's training fighters, and he's old school. He just told us he's about as old school as you can get. And Tommy Brooks, I don't know if Tommy's still active with fighters, but he was basic old school. So as far as the training goes, I really don't think there's that much of a difference. I mean, it's advanced. A lot of fighters have their own styles. They're hitting the mitts more than they used to. But I think it's the business of boxing that's holding things up. Everybody's got an app. Everything has to be signed and sealed. It's all in the open. Where we because we're on social media, we're getting more information than we need to know. And rumors are circulating. This fight's being made. And when in actuality, nothing's being signed, nothing's being done. And these fighters are basically, they're calling out each other, but then they're not even calling out each other like they should. But they have the platform to do it. We just heard Demetrius Andrade a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he was at Canelo Alvarez's fight, but now we don't hear anything from Demetrius Andrade. It's like it's the lions, they roar, but then they end with a whimper, and that's just not going to sell a fight. Everybody's got an app these days. Nobody's on free TV anymore. Everybody's looking for pay-per-view before they're even known to anybody. It's ridiculous. I blame the business of boxing itself. See, pay-per-view, I really think it's dead because who's going to pay for pay-per-view when you can stream it? And it's not illegal to stream something. You can go in Google and say, I want to see the fight live, and it'll tell you where to go and see it. I mean, how is
paying for MMA? They're paying for UFC.
We're talking boxing right now, though, bro.
It's still the same streaming era, but they paying. UFC is selling to get 2 million.
My point is, who's going to pay for something they can get free? Yeah, they're going to say, I support this boxer, but when it comes right down to it, and their kid can show them on the computer how to get a fight in 5G, for free. Are they going to spend $70 when they could take their wife out for dinner? Pay an electric bill. I mean, things aren't gravy out there for a lot of people, especially where I come from, man. And nobody's paying for pay-per-view when they can get it for free.
Bruce.
I'm done. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No, it's all.
I want to finish so I wouldn't forget.
My apologies. Go ahead, sir.
No, I just wanted to finish what I wouldn't forget.
Have you streamed anything before?
Oh yeah, man. I haven't paid for a fight in maybe since Thomas Hearns fought Iran Barkley, and that didn't even come any good. It got me so pissed off. So I've been doing black box. I've been doing streaming, man. I'm from Rhode Island, dude. We don't pay for anything in Rhode Island.
Okay, my thing is, if you really on these streaming, if you really on the streaming sites, those streaming sites aren't very dependable all the time. They're not that reliable. The fights will go in, fights come out, they break down and all that crap. You know what I mean? You might miss a whole segment. You might be in a lag. You know what I mean? So that's why UFC is still killing on a pay-per-view, because some people want to see it in real time as it go down with no hiccups. So we could say, you can't say pay-per-view is dying, but UFC is killing it. They're setting records every daggone card, 2 million plus buys. And a 2 million is a great number. In boxing, 1 million was the benchmark at one point. Now they're gonna drop the bar down to 200,000. Why? Because of quality of fights. And I just honestly believe that even if it's a business, yes, but the fighters are being pandered to and catered like little kids, and they're not training properly. And Buddy McGirt's example was, showed that. If they was brought up the old way from the kids on, like you got to run all day, you got to hit this, hit that. If they carried the same methods, I believe, from the old school to now, we would have better fighters. That's just my, how I see it.
So what we have right?
I got a question real quick. What if most pay-per-views were just like $49.99 to the most? Like that was it. A premier pay-per-view was $49.99. Do you think that make them? I mean, I personally believe if the most was $49.99, I wouldn't even have a problem with pay-per-view. I probably wouldn't, because I'd probably buy like 5, 6 a year or something like that, and not really have that much of a problem. It's only $50. But I feel like since they're charging like 70, 80 for all like 4, 5, 6 fights and shit, that kind of gets a lot. So do you guys feel like maybe if they were just like capped at a certain, like I guess some countries do that earlier, they're talking about that, some capping. Would you guys think that'd be better for boxing and help the numbers and shit?
Hey, listen, since I wasn't part of the conversation, I'm gonna let the panel talk, but I'm about to block this dude right here, right? He said, Glenn, stop dropping D's on live streams, right? So I want to say something, youngin. What D's were, what was when Ghetto Boys was talking about dropping them Fifth Ward D's on them. The more I swung, the more blood flew. Then he disappeared, and my boys disappeared too. All right, you don't know nothing about that though, because you ain't no OG like you claim OG, right? You say you an OG, but you be out here trolling, man. So get off my nuts, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys were off my nuts for long enough. Now you want to come back? You're gonna get that smoke if you want it, bro. I'm just letting you know, you're gonna get that smoke if you want it. So just to be clear right here, just to be clear. So now I'll block you. Go ahead, continue. I wasn't here for that conversation. That's why I just had to say that though.
Yeah, that's good thought, man. Troll their little bitches, man. They can make shit fun sometimes, but if somebody trolling on some extreme shit and doing it over and over again, yeah, you ain't got to block.
Yeah, well, that's the same.
Exactly.
That's the same person that dropped that first pick,
right?
The dick
right.
pick.
Yeah, that motherfucker got to go.
So now they think that it's jokey
right.
hour, like we cool like that. Nah.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
sure.
That ain't cool like that. Nah.
So you talking about the pay-per-view, right? Like
if they were just like $49.99 capped, but would that kind of settle like I make this a little better?
No, I kind of agree with you. Like if they just had it like $49.99, but it's a combination of is that what you're saying? It has to be something that people will value enough to want to pay for. But again, too, they're gonna have to want to. It has to be a fight that they are going to be willing to pay for as well. Like again, you know, back in the day we was growing up, bro. We were seeing classic fights. Bro, when the last time you seen a classic fight outside of Pacquiao and we got Errol Spence?
Exactly. That's what I was telling Major Key the other night.
We're not getting these fights. There's nothing for us to get excited about. We're not around. Oh man, Tank finna go fight Mario Barrios, bro. I'm telling you, you know what I mean. There's no excitement for that.
I like De La Hoya, man. So De La Hoya, Trinidad, or that was exciting, shit like that.
And we used to get fights like that all the time.
Yeah,
we don't get no fights like that all the time, man.
Tyson kind of irritated me, knocking everybody else so damn early though, man. I used to be like, man, damn, man, just let it go 2 rounds and shit. Pay a bunch of pay-per-view money, knocking them out in the first round. I was like, damn. But yeah,
boxing has become a specialty on top of a specialty, because not only before boxing was your only combat sport, but now we've got the mixed martial arts going head to head with it. We've got Bellator, I mean, there's so much shit going on, and you know, and boxing. The majority of people out there have no clue. They don't even know who the heavyweight champion of the world is now, and that used to be the most prestigious title in all of sports. You know, I take my dog for a good 3-mile walk every day, man. I go by the show. I talk to a lot of people, and they know, man, I'm always rapping about boxing, and nobody has any clue. It's like I'm speaking Chinese out there. When I'm excited about the fight that's coming on Saturday night, and they have no idea. They don't. Jermell Charlo. Oh, I think I might have heard of him. Castano, nah, Castano doesn't ring a bell. And, you know, I'm trying to tell them the Argentine fighters, you know, back in the day of Carlos. Oh, I remember Carlos Monzon, but they have no clue. I mean, even the heavyweight champ today, they're asking me if Mike Tyson's still fighting, if Evander Holyfield is still ahead. It's, you know, boxing is in such a rut right now. Who's going to pay the $50? Really, man? You know, these cats down the street.
Hey, Bruce, my bad, man, because you're always spitting knowledge, man. But this is a great conversation. I want to keep it going. But I also would like to bring people in that want to talk boxing, because I said it was going to be free smoke after my live, right? Now, there's somebody in the back talking about Aaron Davis, right? And they weren't authenticated, and they got a recording of it. So they're not coming on. So you might as well leave the back. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That dude right there, removed from stream right there. You see? I removed him too fast for him to throw up a dick pic. But anyway.
Oh no, you know, I sent Aaron the link. So that might actually.
Oh shit!
I did. I know, man. I know. What's up, Aaron?
Yo, Troy set you up for that one. Yo, Aaron. Troy set you up for that one, man, because we got issues here. And then also Chivo, please tell me show up in the background how many fingers I have up.
You got 4 fingers.
Show me in the background, because if you can't do it, then you're not getting on.
You got 4 fingers.
I've already seen your picture. I'm saying, you see, if it takes you too long, bro, then I don't know why you clicking on the link.
You got 4
he
fingers.
left. All right, so that was troll account. There we go.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on, man?
No, what's up with you? How's everything?
Oh man, these trolls are trying to come in, man. We just trying to chop it up boxing, man. Did you see the fight a couple weeks ago?
Nah, I missed the Charlo fight.
The Charlo.
No, y'all talked about it when I came on. Nah, I just seen like a little brief of it. Then I
all right. In that case, I'll let these guys brief you on what they were talking about, because we were moving it along, and I was kind of just like monitoring the chat because I just came back right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were talking. I was piggyback off the point that Mr. Bruce Gold said. These people don't know these fighters because we haven't got any fights that inspired new fans. That's pretty much bottom line.
That's a great answer.
The fight, when we grew up, we saw inspiring fights. That's what made us want to get here and talk boxing on YouTube, because we're inspired by great fights.
Yeah,
they're not producing that no more.
Nah.
The fighters are being groomed to give us the inspiring fights with the heart that we seen and growing up, and so that's why it's killing pay-per-view and killing the sport. Boxing is not even a specialty sport right now because we're not getting any special moments. So I rebuked that boxing has become a specialty upon a specialty because we're not getting any special moments. And I kind of quit that to one thing, unfortunately, to Floyd Mayweather inadvertently. And Floyd Mayweather was regurgitating something all the time. And I'm a fan of Floyd, but he used to say, it's not cool to take punishment. And he always regurgitating, I'm rich and I retain all my faculties and all that today. He used to say that all the time in interviews and all that. And I think that's seeking a little bit in the back of boxers' brain, like, okay, let me get here to get my money, but I don't want to get injured. And nobody wants to see a Benitez, of course. Nobody wants to see the middleweight, my man,
McClain.
Yeah, McClain. Nobody wants to see that, of course. You know what I mean? And there's a handful of that. Nobody wants to see an Aaron Pryor come in that. Nobody wants to see that, of course. But at the same time, it's a catch-22. You know what I mean? We don't want to see that, but we do want to be inspired by what we see. And if we're not getting that, then the sport's not getting what it needs to thrive at the height it was in the past. And that's that's unfortunately the thing that comes with the sport. And the same thing we see happening in boxing, you're going to see that in the UFC. You see that in MMA, but yet it's still thriving because the fighters are still fighting for their life. Because nowadays, I believe I made a video a long time ago where it's early praise kills fighters' potential. A lot of these fighters are getting, high praise too early in their career, and they feel like they've already made it all the way, and they feel like they don't have to give any more to prove that they're a legend or they're a Hall of Famer and all that stuff. And that's
too much too soon. Too much too soon is what's going on. But
absolutely.
Right. Before Aaron jumps on, I want to say this. You said a whole lot, Myron, which I agree with. And the reason why we're not seeing fights that really turn on your soul and then fire your soul up is because nobody is willing to take a risk to be the best anymore. Everybody wants to get paid like they're the best, but they won't fight the best. Perfect example. Now, you actually mentioned Floyd Mayweather. He himself only talks about his pay-per-views. You will never hear him or hardly hear him speak about any of his fights. You know why? Because none of them were so outstanding that they're worthy to speak by. But, because he made so much money, there's a lot of current crop of fighters that say, I want to be like him. Right. And that's where we are today. Because, listen, you could get a half-decent fight and, oh, that's a great fight. No, it's not. It's a half-decent fight. It's not a great fight. What is great today anyway? Can somebody tell me? And Aaron,
Canelo.
Aaron, that question's for you. And then I'm going to just pass it around the panel. Aaron, what is great today as far as boxing is concerned?
Well, today is different now. You see, what you're saying is all different than before. Before, people, they had to fight. They fought. Now you really don't have to fight. You got the media with you. And then another thing, people don't know boxing. Like, you might know boxing. You might see a guy and you might say, you see two guys go to war, they put a hell of a fight on, but neither one of them could fight. But they're going to fight. They're going to please the crowd. They're going to fight. And then you got people who don't know boxing who think they're the best fighters in the world. But one thing you said about with Mayweather, and I train a lot of kids, they don't want to get hit. They want to stick and move, and they say, oh, Mayweather, he got his faculties. He don't get hit. Why should I take a chance on getting hit? And I was just arguing with a kid today. I said, listen, to hurt somebody, you got to be willing to get hurt. You got to take chances, And he's like, well, Mayweather don't get hit. He don't have to. He don't never slug with nobody. He don't do this. He don't do, And I'm saying, listen, when Mayweather was coming up, he had to fight. Right now, he compete later when he got a little older. Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters in the world. Nobody I could take my hat off to him. But as he got older, they kind of picked and choose his fights. And it's not that they picked and choose his fight. I shouldn't even say that. As it went on, a lot of people don't know how to fight, but Mayweather knows how to fight. And then everybody that trained these guys, they want to train. None of them have their own identity. They train them to fight like Mayweather. Stick, move, yeah, and it's like a puzzle that he built. And you're not going to beat him at his own game. He know why he hits the bag like this. He know why he does all of this. They don't know why. They just doing it because their trainer tells them to do it. Whatever he does for a reason. So everybody wants to be like him. Like when Mike Tyson was hot. You had trainers. Trainers is the ones who got boxing all fucked up. When Mike Tyson was hot, you had trainers trying to have their fighters 7'2" people trying to fight. I'm not exaggerating, but trying to fight like Mike Tyson. None of the fighters today have their own identity and I watch fighters, I watch trainers. They want to train them to fight like this guy. I remember I was in Detroit before. I seen the trainer trying to teach his fighters how to fight like James Toney. That was his best fighter, So none of these kids can ever know what they do. They don't, first of all, a lot of trainers can't teach basics because they don't know how to teach basics. They don't know about it. The only thing they do is pad work with people, when the people come into my gym now, I tell trainers they want to be a trainer. I say, I want to train, I want to be a child. They holding the pads and okay, you give me a kid, show you what I can do. I said, okay, show that kid how to hit the bag. No, I can show you on the pads and all this stuff. You know, they were the Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, his uncles, Roger Mayweather thing, pat. You know, but it's a reason why they do that. He doesn't fight like that. And a lot of these trainers, they can't teach a fighter how to throw a jab. They can't teach him how to fight. You know, and attack somebody. You know, and this is the reason why Mayweather can beat most of these guys, because 90% of the people are trying to fight like him. They hands down, doing the shoulder rolls and all that. You know what I'm saying? But
he's killing
the whole thing with what you said is about the fights are not competitive. It's not like UFC. It's like the wrestling, WWF. Like, you know who's going to win the fight now these days. You know automatically, like, you know, and everybody thought, I didn't see the fight with Charlo, but some people say it was a close fight. Some people say they thought the Charlo won. I don't know. They said they thought it was a draw. Some people say it was a draw. You know, I heard one person say that it was a losing fight, you know. But when you want to watch great fights, if you get good fights, like if you got two guys fighting, like say like a Terrio Gotti, Mickey Ward, those are fights. You got two fighters, and y'all tell me if you think I'm wrong. You got two fighters, no matter what, and y'all can't get mad at me because I'm black myself. You got these fighters. You got the Caucasians, you got the Europeans, and you got the Mexicans. They fight, man. They could be bleeding. They're gonna fight. Tell the referee don't stop the fight. They're gonna fight. They cut. They giving it all they got. And then you got the guys with reflexes, good reflexes, the black and Hispanic fighters, you know. They get hit, they cut, they losing. The coach sit down the stool. The coach is saying, "You're losing this fight. You gotta go out there and get him. You need a knockout. You as soon as that bell ring, you jump out of this chair and you go fight him. Don't back up. You hear me? Yeah, dang." And the guy runs around the ring. You know you're losing the fight. They don't make their peace with God. They like, you know, these fighters today, and I'm not gonna say names, there's a lot of them, you know, like they know they're losing the fight.
Can I interrupt for a second though? I think, like you said though, not really. I think it's more of a Mayweather thing, because that's how our boxers were back in the day. They all fought, you know what I mean? Like regardless of skin tone and stuff. You know, just like you said, I think Mayweather kind of changed it a little bit because of the money, but also. No, none of the fighters these days are trying to, you know, go after they're like De La Hoya and shit. Because if you want to be serious, Mayweather kind of even developed his identity after he fought De La Hoya. That's when he became money made. At least Mayweather put himself in the position to fight De La Hoya and fight all the, you know, and do what they had to do. You know, they
don't want to be Pretty Boy Floyd. They don't want to be Pretty Boy Floyd. They want to go straight to Money Mayweather.
Right, definitely. They don't
excuse me, can I piggyback on that?
Challenges, man. Like you said, they're not trying to fight people that they feel that they might lose against. They want to fight everyone that they feel they can beat. You know what I mean? No one really wants to fight those 50-50 fights. You know, so I feel like that's the problem, man. They're not challenging themselves. Back in the day, everyone did. You know, right? But the money started changing shit. The money. You know.
Can I ask Superman a question, man?
Hold on, Bruce.
Aaron, my name's Bruce Goes, man. I've been a fan for a while. And, you know, I want to say something too. You were saying about how the fights they're not 50-50. But back in the day, man, when you fought, there was a rivalry. There was Brooklyn versus the Bronx. And, you know, everybody was into that, man. You know, like when you came on, you had already beaten Louis Santana, Mad Dog Hatcher. So everybody knew when you were going to fight Vreeland, man, you had the city was behind that fight, and it was in New York. Now, why aren't there fights like that anymore today where we can get the communities involved? Because that was, just from your standpoint, an unbelievable fight that put you in the record books. But why can't other fights be like that? They don't have to be rivals, ethnic rivals or anything. That was a good city fight, man. It was a fantastic fight, and that's what we need more of.
Yeah, because nobody wants. They don't know how to fight. I believe people will fight, but they're not taught how to fight. They're not taught how to dig down. And when somebody hits you, you got to fight. I'm watching these trainers. If you get hit, you run. You move to the side. You get out the way. Everything. You see fighters. They go 1, 2, 3, step back. Now it's the other fighter's turn. Then he go 1, 2, 3. Okay, your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my turn. Back and forth, back and forth. One thing I like about Earl Spence is Earl Spence, he takes charge of it. He's keep going forward. He's not letting it be your turn. He's going forward. And you know what? He's not this guy here I'm about to mention. He's a good fighter. You know, he's not the greatest technical fight out there. But one thing he will do is fight you, and that's Porter. Porter will fight you. He's just fighting. Porter he just you say great. He's coming to punch you in the mouth. He's just going to fight you. What? He's going to keep fighting you. And but the rest, it's just that it's not even so much as the fighters. I don't care. I watch the trainers. I go to gyms, and I see kids in the corner doing this and that and that, and they're not even rumbling. You understand? And then they don't know how to go from 0 to 10. They stick at 2 because they never throw more than 3-4 punches. A trainer say 1-2 hook, get out the way. 1-2 move. What happened when you got somebody and you got to fight him? He's fighting you. They don't know what to do. They start using their legs on the run. They get tired, and when they get tired, then they don't fight. I see fighters, they quit. They get hit in the stomach, they grab their nuts, they fall to the floor and say, the guy hit me. And it's not, they just ain't used to sparring people that's going to fight them. So when they do get into a fight with somebody that's fighting them, they don't know what to do. The anxiety comes out.
No doubt. And they're not taught how to handle pressure in the ring as a young age. That will carry up once they become a freaking professional. It starts when it's young. You know what I mean? It's the early development. But now you got these cats coming here trying to box at 17, 18, 19, 20. Whereas more so back then, you got kids starting at adolescence starting to train. Early adolescence and everything become fighters. So you got cats coming in late teens and everything, say they want to get into boxing and all that. And they're coming in for the wrong reasons, really for money. And the industry is letting them in.
Yep.
And it's jacking up the sport.
Right, exactly. Everybody wants to be the showman or be the show, but they don't want to sacrifice and learn. Aaron, you just said something about a lot of guys don't know how to switch up pace. I don't think I've seen anybody teaching pace right now in boxing, how to switch up. Kind of like when you're running, you sprint, then you run, you sprint, then you run.
Exactly.
Right, because in a fight, your heart doesn't stay at the same rhythm. So you got to teach it to go up. You got to teach it to go down. You got to teach it to level out. I don't see a lot of people even thinking about that. What I do see, I don't see any subtlety anymore. I see a lot of aggression, but I don't see a lot of subtlety. Why don't you tell us about, your training tactics, Aaron, some of the stuff that you teach.
I'm just letting everybody know I'm going to follow up after he's done.
But well, back, for instance, if you ever watch Earl Spence, right? He's always jabbing. But when he's not jabbing, he's fighting you. When you rest, you jab. You rest him with the jab all day. That's what I used to do. Just rest with the jab. And then when I get close, I'm going to fight you. But then when I'm not fighting you, I'm jabbing. I'm staying busy. These guys are being taught, throw 3 punches and get on the move. Move this way. Use your footwork. But everybody footwork. Come on, man. How you gonna win a fight with footwork? Just move, slick move. And then I go and move, slip, but keep moving the head, And I told a guy today, he says, nah, you want me to stand there and fight. I said, so what's giving this guy here the privilege that you gotta run from him? And he couldn't even tell me. I said, he's not running from you. He's smaller than you, he's lighter than you, he's coming after you. You threw a couple of shots, you got tired, he's coming after you. But the main thing is you have to train a fighter to throw punches now today and throw a lot of punches to get them tired, because if they're not tired in the gym, when they fight, they're not going to fight tired because it's like the anxiety comes in. And I may not be saying it the right way, but
adrenaline.
They're not going to know how to fight tired.
Right.
Like they're not, but boxing,
right.
I mean, I've been trained by a few good people. I've been taught. I was taught to fight. You had to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like if your fight is getting close, my trainer told me, "Yo, the fight's close. I gotta go. I gotta do a dive. I gotta do it."
Mr. Davis, like you just said, I'm gonna jump off and let you. You just said they don't know how to fight tired. Now, do you directly connect that with the mental fortitude of that fight?
Mental fortitude? What fight is that?
The mental toughness. The fighters who can fight being tired connects to the mental toughness. And I start with training at a young age.
Yeah. I
don't think it has to do with the age too much though, but I see what you're saying. Because I feel like anybody in today's society whether regardless of age, it's going to try to probably be like more into that money.
I don't think y'all got that. I was going to follow up. So let me go ahead and make y'all digress while I follow up. So the change of the pace, right, is what I've been talking about for the longest with Terrence Crawford. Okay, I've been trying to tell people about this. I don't even know, like a year and a half, 2 years since I even started talking on YouTube. Because before that, I was just talking to people. But what I've noticed is that my man, and he said it before himself. And when I'm talking about the change of pace is mostly what you've been talking about, but also, right? It's like, okay, so you have range-finding jabs, right? You have range-finding jabs, then you have jabs that keep you off, and then you have jabs that are supposed to be like power jabs, and then the same thing with every other type of punch, right? And what he does is, most of the fight, he keeps on tapping you, see where the weakness is, and you start thinking, oh, he doesn't hit that hard, and then boom, he levels you with something really, really hard that he committed to. And that's what I mean about the changing of pace of the punches, because with the change of the pace, that you're thinking it's just going to be like a pity pat, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's landing a haymaker on you, and that's how he got Kell Brook. Kell Brook went to his locker room and asked him, man, how did you do that? Like I've never been hit like that. He went and asked him for advice afterwards. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to tell you, Terrence Crawford is extremely smart with the change in the pace of the punches. And I've been trying to tell people that I don't even know how many times that I've gone on people's lives after they've spoken about a Terrence Crawford fight, and they're looking at me like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's a great point. But then they forget about it next week, you know. And it's like I've been saying this for a couple years now. So
Major Key.
So
Major Key, you know, he knows how to switch gears. He can switch gears. You know, but you got some people, like I said, they fight at one pace the whole time.
Sean Porter, straightforward. Yeah, sure.
He can go to 10. He can go to 10 with no problem. Back down. 10. He's all over the place. But he's going to fight you. And it's not, he might be somewhat like the Caucasians and the Mexicans. He's going to come fight. He's going to, listen, you got to kill him in there. If his father tells you losing, it's close, he's going to 1 to 10. He's trying to kill. He's throwing punches. He's going to fight you tired. He's going to fight you till he can't fight no more. People are so afraid to get tired because they don't train that way. And I believe he trains like that.
But I don't think Terrence Crawford is going to wait till the 11th or 12th round to change his pace. Like Adrian Broner and Errol Spence. I think he's going to change the pace a little sooner to see how effective he can get.
But you know what Terrence Crawford uses? I mean, you might not. Well, I could see it as a change of pace. Terrence Crawford, when he switches stance, is also a way he changes the pace. And Malachi was asking that to the coaches, asking why does he switch? Paces up. He's switching the switch stance up. He does have to also switch up the angles of where his punches is coming from. So if he's been going orthodox for first round 1, round 2, now when he done switched up and went southpaw, the angles of his punches is completely different and would throw the fighter off. And that's what they're doing. That's changing the pace of how his opponent is going to attack him. So there's different ways to change in pace. It's not always just with the speed, it's also from the angles. And that's what he do. So he would switch pace he would go southpaw. That's switching up your pace, and now he's more dictating the pace over you. Then once he done got you befuddled, once he has you befuddled and hurt you, he switches back orthodox to his power side and finishes you.
And I agree with that 1,000%, but that's easier said than done. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to perfect that way that you land. Like for example, when you switch orthodox and you land back on that left foot on the back end, right? You have to learn how to put that power behind that left hand when you're using that as a power punch. And the same thing when you fall off balance and fall on your right foot on the back end, you got to learn how to put that power right back into it, like without hesitation. You know,
but
and
the
that's
thing
what I
is,
think that Terrence Crawford has perfected.
But because that comes from repetition and training in freaking gym.
I'm just saying that he's great at it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying he's great at it.
He's great at it because he worked at it, though. Yeah. That's not something that's just going to come overnight. He's putting repetition work in the gym.
Obviously, yeah.
I think that he's in a fight. I don't know. There are people. A lot of people think that he's not in the fight with Porter. I think he's in the fight with Porter. I think he's in the fight. Yeah, I don't. A lot of people think he's not in the fight. He's in the fight.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think, yeah,
They're in a
definitely.
fight. They're in a fight, definitely.
And he
I
hasn't
agree
had a
with
fight. He hasn't had a fight. He hasn't been in a fight in a long time. He hasn't had a fight in a long time. You never know. Like he's fighting guys, he's knocking out. You know, I mean, the guys, they pretty good fighters. They pretty decent. You know, but he's fighting a real fighter. He's gonna be in a fight, and I can't wait to see it. You know, he's in a fight. Some people, that's a fight where, if you're a betting guy and they got the odds on it, I don't know. I might go with Porter, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but
I'm going with Porter.
I watched him when he fought. What's the name? The guy. He got cracked by that guy. The little guy moved up the weight to fight him. Bamboa. You know, he was having little problems there. And you know what? He was a little younger then. That was probably 3-4 years ago. You know, he really hasn't been. And you know, I like the guy. I like him. But I don't think he's been in there with anybody like, you know, what's the name? Laid down. The guy Crawford. That's his name, Crawford. The guy, he laid down. He just hit. He curled up. He turned his head. He laid down. He could have got up. He wasn't trying to fight. You look at guys like Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. These guys are bleeding. They busted. Their eyeballs about to come out, and they're still fighting. You know, this guy gets hit and he grabs his eye, falls out. You know, he does. But anyway, I just think he's in a real fight. You understand?
I agree with you 100%, champ, man. Sean Porter is a throwback fighter. He would have made it in any era. Unpredictable, always throwing punches. I mean, he's a true welterweight, and freaking Bud's never faced a true welterweight before. This could turn into a dog fight, man. You know, Sean Porter will use his head, he'll use his fists, he'll use his knees if he has to. But Bud better be sharp as hell for this fight. Believe me, Sean Porter is no dog. Or if he is a dog, he's a bad dog.
What
about the Australian?
You don't know how he's gonna be strong. How he's gonna be stronger than him. You know, you don't know how Crawford reflexes really. Oh, he hasn't been in the fight. You know, he's gotten older too. You know, years ago, fighters was done when they were like 35, 32, 33. You were done because people will fight you. Now today, you don't have to worry about anybody jumping on you, fighting you. Everybody's stick and move, and they move, and they move. This is why a lot of fighters like Evander Holyfield, Hopkins, these guys could fight for a long time because people are fighting longer now because nobody's fighting them. They're not using their youth. They're not making a guy fight. So listen, they cut rounds years ago. It used to be 15 rounds. They stopped it because people were fighting. They was getting hurt, dehydrated. They was even dying. So they cut the rounds down to 12 rounds. Yeah, today people, they could do 20, 30 rounds now. Nobody fights. Yeah, they got after the fight, the guy got a whole lot left. He's dancing. He's doing flips. You know, he's running around the ring. Back then, people were dead after the fight because they fought.
Facts. I think Igauskas, yes, Igauskas wasn't a true welterweight.
Oh,
Bruce?
You talking to me?
Bruce, you saying Igauskas wasn't a true welterweight?
No. Mean Machine was a good welterweight, but Sean Porter is definitely a different style, man. I don't think he's fought anybody with Sean Porter's dog style in him. And plus, you know, like the champ was just saying, these guys they're like approaching their prime at 33, 34. Years ago, that was when they were winding down, man. You know. These guys just haven't taken the wear and tear that the fighters took back in the day, man. So they're acting like they're fresh fighters at 35 when man, you know, all the fighters of the day were they were hanging it up when they hit their 30s, man. You know, it's a different world, you know. But Bud Crawford, what's he going to be, 34 when he fights Sean Porter?
He's supposed to fight later this year. In October, right? Are they trying to push
Manny Pacquiao's trying to bring that back though. 42 years old, still fighting at a high level. I mean, I feel like all that shit kind of died. Look, De La Hoya is I don't mean to interrupt, but De La Hoya is one of my favorites, right? I think he was like one of the last fighters, like Sugar Shane Mosley, De La Hoya, and stuff like that, like retired, like you said, around 30, man. Like they were like war veterans already, like around 30, 31, 32. They already looked like
Yeah.
kind of tired. You know, they were fighting all kinds
Bernard
of.
Hopkins fought till 48.
Yeah, Hopkins
Yeah.
too. Can't forget about Hopkins.
He was 50. He was 50. He wasn't 48.
Yeah, I'm
but
giving
Hopkins
2
fought
years
his own
to
pace. They let
Yeah,
Hopkins
definitely.
fight his pace.
Yeah.
Hopkins
he was like
fought
almost
his own
50.
pace.
I just want to
Yeah.
He
say
wasn't
though,
fighting.
Superman. I just want to say one thing. When you were talking about Terrence versus Gamboa, let's not forget though that wasn't 4 years ago. That was a long time ago. And
Like 7,
Gamboa
6,
was
7.
actually, that Gamboa was in his prime back then. That was before he had the legal issues. So he fought a prime Gamboa, unlike these guys that fought him recently, like Davis.
Yeah.
And
He fought an undefeated
that
Gamboa.
was quite a few years ago. Huh?
An
I know, that's what I
undefeated
said.
Gamboa.
I said he was
He
a
was
lot younger when
undefeated
he
too.
had.
Remember that, Major Key? He was undefeated when they fought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
but
what I'm
listen,
saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that was. But I'm just saying because he said it was like he was older and it was 4 years ago. But I'm just trying to say just for the sense of the argument because we're trying to like measure the quality of these guys and I have Terrence Crawford in on a high bracket. You know what I'm saying? So I have to correct that when I hear
okay.
it. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you this part. That's why I said Crawford was younger than when he fought Balboa. Balboa moved up 2 weight classes to fight him. Balboa got dropped by almost everybody before he fought him. He got dropped, but he wins the fights. He was put in the right fights. Balboa was put in the right fights, but Balboa was getting dropped by everybody before that. If you look at the fights he fought before he fought him, almost everybody heard him, had him out, even dropped him. Darlin Manis dropped him before that. Almost everybody dropped him. But he moved up 2 weight classes to fight Crawford. And Crawford, it was a war. It started, he heard him, but, maybe Crawford is better too now that he moved up. Who knows? Maybe Crawford needed to move up. He was killing himself making that weight.
Yeah, man. Yo,
I'm not saying he's a bad fighter.
3-time champion, undisputed at 140.
Yeah.
Man,
But I'm not saying. What I'm saying, he's a good fighter. But what I'm saying is he's getting older. And when you got somebody fighting you at that age, at 33, 34, that's going to fight you, and somebody mentioned Hopkins. Nobody was fighting Hopkins. They let Hopkins fight his own pace. The minute that guy jumped on Hopkins, I forgot his name. Joe
Pascal.
No, Joe Smith.
Porter's not that far. Porter's only like a year younger than, Crawford though.
Nah, he's talking about Joe Smith. Joe Smith.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Porter versus Crawford.
They gotta be Joe Smith. Isn't he the one that knocked him out the ring?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember. It was it was Joe Smith, wasn't it?
I think he froze up. I think Mr. Davis froze up.
Yeah, he froze up. Or he's really good at standing still, or he's really confused.
I think Porter's going to make this a rough, tough fight. This is the only way he has a chance of being competitive and weeding. I love Porter because Porter is one of the only few fighters that is an entertaining fight most of the time, every time he fight until he fought. Besides the last fight when he fought that, not the last, but before the fight when he fought the Cuban. But other than that fight, every fight Porter's been in has been quite entertaining. I just don't think Porter has the arsenal to, once it get past that 6th round to really bother. Once Crawford figures him out, Porter doesn't have the variety of punches nor the arsenal to going to really challenge Crawford. I think once it get past that 6th round, I think Crawford, I'm looking for if it goes late, I don't put like this. This is not going to be, I actually nudge. I thought you could have gave Porter the decision versus Spence. Somebody who, depending on who you are, you could have probably gave Porter that decision, in my opinion, versus Spence. But it was a great fight. Spence won it. Just due to him. I don't think it's going to be that close versus Crawford. I'm telling you.
I want to add one more point before he comes back, which is that he was talking about the age. That's correct. They're not getting any younger, but also Porter's 33 as well. So
I told you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to for the people that didn't hear that, right? You know what I mean? Because we got a 1 year older Crawford and then a 33-year-old Porter. You know what I mean? So
told you.
It is
So
what it is.
the age ain't no problem here. So
Yeah.
I just think Crawford's gonna gun him down once it's late, and then we might see a fight. We're going to see a similar fight. This is going to turn into a similar fight, Porter versus Brooks. And if anybody saw Porter versus Brooks, Brooks gave Porter the most handed beating that Porter's ever got. No one's ever seen Porter get beat like that besides the fight versus Kell Brook, because Kell Brook washed him up. Porter was bloody. He was beaten. Kell Brook had his timing down and just punished him later on those rounds. And that's what I think you're going to start going to see in this Crawford fight. So you heard it here. This is going to turn into a punishing fight later on.
But I think Sean Porter he like willfully engaged in that type of battle, you know, because I feel like maybe he could take Kell Brooks' power and shit. So he was like, sometimes I think the boxers, they get into the wars, like, fuck it, we're gonna go all out and throw blows and get bloody and all that, because man, I mean, Sean Porter fought Errol Spence, and everyone was saying, well, a lot of people say that Bud is ducking Errol Spence, you know what I mean? So Sean already fought him, and now he's about to fight Bud, and Sean already fought fucking everybody, man. He fought everyone, so man, it's really hard to just. I think Sean's gonna win. I think he's gonna win a really close fight. But people gonna say that Bud got robbed. It'll be that close. But Bud probably look a little better, maybe. But I just think they'll give it to Sean for the aggression and just. I think the only thing that Sean Porter needs to learn, man, is his pop, right? Because I feel like when he punches a lot from like the shoulders and shit, man, and like the biceps. Yeah, like the back. Like he don't punch from his. He don't put weight in his hand, man. Like you don't fucking put weight in his hand. Like throw the hand. You know what I'm saying? Like throw that fucking hand and shit. Not leave all that shit loose. Just throw that fucking hand and shit. I think
that's what I mean. He don't got
some shit like
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Because he already got everything else, man, to beat Bud for sure. So like if he was just work on something, yeah, man. So he at least tweak a couple of things, man. Oh, he can catch him, man. He can catch Buddy. He can take him down. So I'm gonna go for it.
I love the Porter versus Granado fight. Porter broke his arm. That fight was fire. So she loved the Granados fight. So what do y'all think about Granados versus Conor Benn? Because that fight is already scheduled.
Oh,
it would be the best. It would be the best. It'd be the toughest test we've seen for Conor Benn so far.
Right. But what do y'all think about that, though?
I haven't even watched Conor Benn fight Hoffman, but you know what I'm saying. Man. But I think this is a true litmus test for Conor Benn, in my honest opinion. Yeah. It's going to be a litmus test for Conor Benn to see if he really.
I thought the last fight versus Samuel Vargas was a true litmus test, but bro, he took care of him real quick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I just don't think he got. I need to see a lot more to be convinced of Conor Benn.
But you didn't watch him. You say you didn't watch him, so I'm trying to tell you got to watch that fight, and then you'll be a little convinced.
No, I haven't watched the whole fight. I've watched highlights of certain things.
And highlights. It was done in the first round. You didn't watch it. Just be honest.
No,
it was a first round knockout.
We're talking about be honest.
Y'all like a brothers or some shit, huh?
Not the fight. I don't need to see a whole guy fight. You be honest. You don't think Conor Benn is his father yet? Do you?
I didn't say he was his father. I said he was a great fighter.
Exactly. So my point is, I need to see more Conor Benn.
I'm not trying to see Chavez Jr. B, Chavez Sr., bro. I'm trying to tell you Conor Benn is the truth, bro, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you could doubt that, you know what I mean? Hey.
You telling me that ain't convincing me. I need to see with my eyes.
I don't need to convince you. You need to watch and convince yourself.
I've been convinced so far. That's why I told you. I need to see more.
You didn't watch nothing. So
I think Conor, hey man, honestly, I think they're both like B+ fighters type of stuff. You know that.
I like Jeff Lucy. At least you keep it.
You know what I mean? Conor Benn can. I feel like he can definitely become a really good fighter, but at this point, because he's still young, right? Like he hasn't been a professional for much years. I don't know from what I'm assuming. I don't know much of him. I seen a fight and I seen him some highlights, and I know he's a little young or whatever. So at this point, right? I think at this point, I feel like he's like, and the Granados too. I mean Granados, I think fought some fights, but I don't really know if he's like one of the top-notch fighters. I'm not saying he can't beat a top-notch fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? Seriously on shit, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying I don't think they're A class fighters though. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be a good fight, though. I mean, I think it'll be a real good fight because they're gonna want to get in a position. I'm sure it's gonna get in position for like a legit ass fight where they're gonna go against like an A-class fighter and shit, man. After fighting a war with another good opponent or rival, man, you never know what happens, man. Shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think he
man.
has the potential to be there, but just like I said earlier, I'm not about giving nobody no early praise too soon, bro. So I need to see him against certain competition to say, okay, yeah, he's the truth. So, you know, I'm just standing on my ground on what I said earlier. I don't give fighters early praise, and Conor Ben hasn't shown that much here in America yet.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Aaron Davis, if you can hear, you were in the background. It took a minute for your picture to come through, and I tried to click for you to come on, but then as soon as I clicked it, you left. So if you want to come back on, I seen you the last time you came in. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, yeah, me either, man. That's how I'm across all sports and shit. Honestly, like you got to kind of like I want to see a nice small body of work, you know, before I just rush to these conclusions and get emotionally invested in you. So I know because I tend to do that. I like support, support. Like somebody's putting in work, man. Like heck yeah, good personality, all that shit. I kind of don't really care too much for like the arrogant people that are who are like. But honestly, there's not really too many like boxers I feel like that are like truly arrogant. I know there's a lot of boxers that people take as arrogant, like probably like the twins and shit, Jamal, but I don't think so, man. I feel like being arrogant is like when you won't give like praise, not praise, but just like acknowledgement of another boxer. And I feel like all boxers acknowledge each other. That's why they fucking ain't fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they I think they're all kind of like they feel like they can lose against one of the top-notch fighters, so they feel they're scared of what it can do to their career. You know what I mean? They're not scared of the fighter, but I think they're scared of what they can do to their career and shit. So it
might be kind of both then. Hey, yeah. But what y'all guys picks on? What's y'all guys predictions on Crawford versus Porter?
Crawford's gonna be the first man to stop Porter, TKO.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. No, that's okay. Okay. I can see that. That's what I'm talking about. How about you two?
I'm going Porter by a really close one. Controversial maybe, man. My cotton mouth and shit. Yep. A close controversial Porter win.
I'm saying I think it's gonna be a unanimous, at least a unanimous decision for.
I think Porter gets dropped multiple times in this fight, not just one time. He gets dropped multiple times, but stays for the duration of the fight and loses a unanimous decision.
I got a question for y'all. How did Brook beat Crawford? I'll tell you. He beat him at the end of his punches. Where's Crawford's power at?
You mean how did Crawford beat Brook?
That's what I said, right? What I said.
You said how did Brook beat Crawford?
No, I'm sorry. How did Brook beat Porter? That's what I meant to say.
Oh, yes.
He beat him at the end of his punches. He saw him coming in, boom, boom, the jab, and then the right, boom. You don't think you don't think Crawford could fight like that? And step in and crack him when he wants to. Now, mind you, because of his style, and Porter actually, if he could just get a timing and a rhythm, he would actually win some of these fights. But I don't think he uses that style to its full potential. He gets what he gets out of it, and then it just becomes like wasted motion a lot of time in there with him. That's what I noticed, a lot of wasted motion. But if he could get a certain rhythm down and punch and move and punch and move, he would be something else in there because he keeps his head down. That's why he don't get knocked out. He keeps his chin down.
Yeah, he's telling you. I don't know, man. I think all he needs to if he just I mean, who am I to give a professional boxer some fucking advice and shit, right? But just like you said, if he just learns how to fucking get some pop on his punch. I mean, that's what I believe. Get some pop on his punch. He's good to go and shit, man. But I feel that fighting Errol Spence, man, really put him up there. Who has all right? The heart is like a muscle too, man. All the shit you go through and shit, man. Like Bud really hasn't fought anyone, man. Like truly, I feel like that's gonna really play a part. The professionals say all the time too. Like you gotta fight, a really good fighter to stay on that level and shit in advance. cats be fighting all these kind of level fighters, BCs and stuff.
That's fact.
So I mean, I just really believe that fighting Errol Spence is gonna just give him the edge a little bit, man. But I understand everybody else says though. I really do. I get what you guys are talking about.
Yo, let's go around the panel, man. Give final thoughts so I can shut it down, man.
Okay.
Early in the morning.
Okay, well, go ahead, Myron.
I'll go first. Hey, like always, man. Appreciate the allowance on the panel, seriously. And Achilles Troy, be doing your thing, man. I can't see your name, but the bottom to the right with the Teddy Atlas, you know what I'm saying? Like he might be pissed off and shit.
That's my wrong. Boxing Logic United.
Boxing Logic United, my wrong. Hey, good shit, man. I appreciate you guys.
Peace, Jeff. No doubt, champ.
All right,
go ahead, Myron.
So Myron, go ahead, man. Plug your channel, man. Let everybody know where to catch you.
Man. Hey, man, it's all Boxing Logic United. Thank you for having me on. I think, again, Crawford going to make a hell of a freaking example. He going to be on a mission in this fight. And if they friends, all that friendship is out the door. Real talk. Crawford's going to, and he's going to make the whole world take notice. If they thinking, I don't think this is going to be, I think Iglauskis was a great fighter. And I think the old white boy, what he did to the white boy, Australian boy, was a good fighter that beat Pacquiao. I forgot. He was a good fighter. He was a true welterweight. So like when they say he ain't fought, like Bruce Gold said they ain't fight a true welterweight, I'm like, what are they talking about? I mean, Kell Brook was a true welterweight. I'm like, what did he be saying? I mean, what is he saying? But hey, thank you. Y'all know y'all get that real talk, big personality, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
We love having you, man.
That's why Troy Graham is a beast. That's why everybody in this place is a beast. You know what I mean? You got good talk. And to hell with all you trolls, Major Key. Don't give them no shine, no love. Don't say their names. Don't say nothing because they want you just to say their names. Don't do that, bro. Don't say their names ever again.
You can troll, boys. Just no dick pics, man. It's like you can troll, make there's no dick pics. Nah, trolls can make if trolls are funny to laugh at, So if you want to troll, fucker, we're laughing at you, man. But it's all right. You're all right, man. People, they just need some loving.
You're right, though.
Everybody,
all right, brother. Let me step up in here.
Go ahead,
step up in here so the good Major can take us home. I'm sticking to what I said about he's going to TKO him. I think he's going to catch him at the end of his punches. Next conversation we could have is, who are all these better fighters that all these PBC cats at 147 fought that Crawford didn't fight? Because who did Spence really beat? I can name 2 names on there. Garcia, well, 3. Well, Garcia, Porter, and Brook. And Crawford actually beat one of them. So who are these better names that all these cats have fought that Crawford hasn't fought at 147?
Exactly.
And y'all have. And on that note, bless up and have a good night. And as far as the trolls, hey, keep them coming. We'll choke the life out of you, and then we'll move on.
I appreciate their views, though. I appreciate you guys viewing.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me say this. We have 480. There's about 20 plus people in the chat. All you gotta do is tell a friend, and we could all be friends, and then we'll be at 500. It's just that simple. And I'll put the voice on you. How you doing? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's what's up, yeah, man. So, shout out to the chat. I know we were dealing with a lot of different personalities. So, shout out to the chat for being here, showing a lot of love. Again, smash the like button. We're always gonna be here for Major Key Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single Monday. Your place to be on a Monday night. Always giving you some great content, but also, that you see the Cash App right there if you want to donate. We're holding things right now to send out some free shirts. So go ahead and support if you can. If you can't, I completely understand it, man. I got children, I understand. But at the end of the day, we just doing this for you guys. So we enjoy doing this. We're trying to do a little bit more in the next coming weeks. If we get the opportunity to do that, we'll give it to you. If not, you know what I mean? We're going to continue to do Monday nights, no matter what. So love you.
Peace.
Went up. Salute. Thank you guys. Everybody on the panel. Yes, sir. Yo, Purple. Peace.
Peace.
All right.